And we're live. Painkiller Already, episode 226.
This episode of Painkiller Already is being brought to you by CrunchyRoll. That's right, folks. CrunchyRoll.com/PKA. That's how you do it. We're giving you 30 days of free 1080p anime on any and every device you can imagine. And they've got some brand new featured shows they want you guys to know about. This month, they want us to talk about Naruto, Food Wars, I think that's starring Wings of Redemption, and Sailor Moon Crystal. Those are the three shows they wanted us to talk about. All these shows are coming straight from Japan. They're getting subtitled into English as soon as an hour after they premiere there. And it's some of the most exclusive content on the internet when it comes to anime. So go to crunchyroll.com/PKA and sign up for premium and get the world's finest collection of anime free for 30 days with 0 ads.
Philly D had a translator on staff. She was she did that. You know how they it comes out in Japan and then they instantly get it and translate it to English.
Yeah,
he had a woman who did that. He stole an employee away from Crunchyroll. He said it was hard, that she was really happy there.
Yeah.
That's
I was
go on.
at the paintball event. I actually got to talk to someone who was able to take advantage of Crunchyroll. Our old friend Duct Tape Man. I actually know his real name right now because I asked him at the event, but I won't put it on the air. Duct Tape Man has been at all of our paintball events. He comes every year with a vest made by himself out of duct tape. It's always very impressive.
It is. It truly is.
Yeah, and he told me that he really liked Crunchyroll. That when he first found out about it, and being able to get all his favorite shows in 1080p, he was blown away. So there you go.
Duct Tape Man has really gotten his act together. A couple years ago, he was that guy who was dehydrated, nearly dying outside of the building, and we had to give him Gatorade to sustain life. Now he appears taller, but he's 22 or something, so that's a late growth spurt. But he's definitely thinner, and he's achieving some life success. So I'm happy for him.
Said he got a raise at work.
Yes, and
excellent news for Duct Tape Man.
More money and a better body. Next come girls.
Absolutely.
Because if girls...
Duct Tape Girl.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's some kinky stuff going on.
Absolutely.
Duct Tape Girl will be awesome. But Crunchyroll, check them out. Naruto, Food Wars, Sailor Moon Crystal. They got some new shows. And if you like anime, this is the answer for it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So where do we want to go first?
Our guest.
Hello.
So, JayzTwoCents, a.k.a. Jay.
Yep. Or JayzTwoCents, either works.
JayzTwoCents, all right.
I'll take it. If you're looking for Jay-Z and you find me, I'll still take it. So
you'll take those views. Do you get angry people in the comments you're the worst rapper ever?
Actually, on quite a few videos, that's a common thing. But what I love most is when I get noticed out in public. Someone will be like, "Oh, Jay-Z, I love your stuff," and it's like, if you really watched my stuff, you'd know it's not Jay-Z. but I'll go along with it anyway. But no, I'm not even kidding. The amount of people who've told me that they legitimately found me because they were searching for rap, and then what is this white guy up here on the Google search, and then they stumble across the channel and they stick around. So it's like accidental.
How bizarre!
Prepare for my YouTube comeback. I'm known as Snoop Woody.
No, I'm not kidding. If you go to my videos on the sidebar,
absolutely not.
so many suggested videos on the sidebar is rap or music. It's funny.
Yeah. That's great.
I think you should bust a rhyme on one of these things. I've done it.
Oh God, it would be really bad.
So you don't have
that never went well.
Trust me, I'm not another Eminem.
I beat Wings of Redemption in a rap battle. Just saying.
And a dance contest.
And two dance contests.
Yeah, another African American skill.
In fairness, I am awesome at dancing.
I can't argue with that because you do have a trophy.
Yes, I am a award-winning dancer, so what I do is what award-winning dancers do.
If I go down to the
hair
trophy
tells
shop
me
and
you'd
get
be
my
a
own,
good dancer.
can I claim a good dancer if I buy my own trophy?
I won a top-end dance contest. It was an old thing. You know what they did? Here's the thing. My dancing was, if we were to break it in, I was at the top of the bottom third, in terms of talent. But they messed up, and they made it fan-based voting.
Oh.
So I just all my fans came, and there were a lot of big people.
We really pushed that hard.
I beat CNNers, I beat Kingsley, I beat Obama Girl. Do you remember her? The CNN girl and everything.
That's the thing.
Yeah. I beat Tayzon Day, the Chocolate Rain guy.
Wow, he was relevant almost a decade ago.
Still does stuff.
So there were some YouTube heavyweights in there, But I think I kind of outworked everyone, and live streamed every day and asked for votes, and I upload a lot of videos. Oops, and so yeah,
You were dedicated.
I there was
Award-winning dancer.
award-winning dancer,
it was like King of the Web, but for dancing.
but it was $25,000.
Yeah.
So that was,
So then it's worth entering.
yes, yeah, yeah. And then there's like I also got paid just for entering and flying out there and stuff. So like it was enough that I paid off my house after it was over. I was like,
Speaking of getting paid to have fun, the paintball trip was badass.
yes, it was. I
Got to meet a lot of fans. I don't even know how many. Probably close to 200 over the 2 days. Lots of people showed up. Got
what'd
to
you
meet
say? Close to what?
Close to 200 maybe.
Yeah, that's a good estimate, I think.
There were a lot of people there who knew who we were, who weren't even aware of the event. Funny enough, that was an interesting little happenstance. But everybody was really cool. There's usually some weird motherfucker that creeps me out or something like that, and I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. But like, everybody was really cool, except for the guy who got me sick. I don't know what kind of plague you've bestowed upon me, but you can go suck a dick. I've been in bed for 2 days now, but I had an awesome time at the paintball event. Shot a lot of you. A lot of you shot the fuck out of me. I got about 35 welts on my body, and
Any notable ones to show, Kyle? Hidden under that poncho.
Yeah, this is my sweat poncho. It's keeping me healthy. Yeah, let me see if I got it. I know.
Oh, I had a question about one of the people that was there when I went a few years ago. What was his name? Like Butter Boy or Cookie Monster or something?
Pillsboro Boy?
Pillsbury. The Pillsbury Boy, yeah.
Doughboy.
Has he grown... Doughboy, exactly. Has he grown up
No,
and
so here's the
continued
thing
to
about
come,
Doughboy.
or is he no longer in it?
Doughboy was not a fan of ours. I found Doughboy at like the entrance at the like the entrance point of a game, and I was just like, "Hey man, you want to roll with us?" And he was like, "Woohoo!" And like started hanging out with us. Like he had enough social skills as like
a 12-year-old. Yeah, something.
Kid that he just hopped in our group of like 20 to 40-year-olds and like stayed with us all day.
So he was a medic. Now, medics are limited on the weaponry they can carry. Like, they can have a pistol or nothing. This guy carried around a sword. So if he touched someone, he'd get them out. But mostly he was just hanging out in the line of fire, healing people. And also, he was so good. Normally, with a medic, you have to get right up to them, like, touch them, write down their number and stuff. But he was a really good medic. He could do it from a distance.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a long-range medic.
Shot! And he was 50 yards away.
Like, you're good!
He was very astute with the cheating for a 12-year-old, because there were times where like he was next to me in a bunker and he'd get shot and he'd be like, "Merker, am I okay?" And be like, fine. Am I okay? Yeah, you're good. Well, all right, let's just cheat our way forward. And then
Can you cure head wounds? I can.
Well, let me see. You're fine.
Yeah, he was great. And then I mean, dude, there was a scene. So Kyle was cheating with Joe Lozon, and afterwards, like, Kyle was, I guess he was dead, but he was like giving Joe like positional call outs of where the bad guys were. And Joe was like, you gotta, like, I didn't understand what you were saying, etc. And Kyle's like, well, I was kind of cheating. And Joe goes, yes, I know we were cheating. We have to step up our cheating game so it's more effective. Like, all right.
There was a guy sneaking around behind Joe, and Joe's about to get shot in the back. So I was like, "Joe, there's a guy sneaking around behind you." He's like, "Huh? What? What?" And then he got shot in the head.
Yeah, so it was ineffective cheating.
I miss paintballing. I used to go a lot because I used to do PSP, which was like airball, but we used to do scenario every now and then up in the hills. But it's just so damn hot here. It's not even enjoyable.
Where are you?
Season. I'm in Southern California.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets really hot. I mean, the paintballs even lose their shape in your hopper if you're sitting in the sun for too long. They'll start to like the balls on the bottom of the hopper will start to like elongate and they start blowing up in the barrel. And yeah, I miss paintball though, because you guys are back east, right?
Yes, this event was in Chicago. So Kyle and I are east and Merca's west.
Yeah.
Merca, is your location top secret? I think it's not, right?
No, I'm in Idaho right now.
Yeah. Yeah. People just don't know you're a stripper.
So the bruise I just showed on camera a minute ago in the back of my kneecap, I just wanted to show you how that happened because I've actually got that one on film. So I'm gonna share this video with you with a timestamp. I'm just making that happen now.
Do I have to fix the?
Are you capable of playing videos?
I've heard of arrow to the knee, but you take it to a new level, Kyle.
Yeah. This one hurts so goddamn much.
Based on the bruises though I'm seeing, I'm guessing the chronographs weren't used very often that day.
I wasn't chronoed the whole time.
Shoot at 400 FPS.
I learned a neat trick to beat the chronograph. Is you go and you take it, and then you bring a screwdriver with you out onto the field.
If you can't reach that guy in the distance, you just start cranking up the regulator.
Terrible.
You go until you explode a ball and then back off 1/2 turn. Good.
Turn a little bit. Too high. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Some dumb fuck just broke his phone.
Robots? I hear robots.
I heard robot too, but it's okay. I'm busy fixing I have another screen from where I share content, and I'm setting it up.
Am I robotic right now?
You're getting better. You're on the road to recovery.
I think it's because of the video that you're watching at the same time.
Oh, a lot of porn. Sorry.
What's the... Yeah.
The moment he said that, his bit rate dropped even more.
Well, I finished, so, you know.
So you're supposed to buffer it before the show, and then you just watch it during.
Jay is technical. And it's funny how it shows up. He's like, I think his audio dropped to about 8-bit. It's a good estimate, really.
I can't help it. That's the way I'm programmed. I worked in IT for 10 years, and then when I quit my job to keep doing YouTube, it's all tech based. So it's
Dude, I did the same thing. So what was your job?
I actually worked in software. I was an SQA.
SQA?
Senior Quality Assurance.
Oh, okay.
So I did code check-in and check people's code, and basically it was like yay or nay, you suck, redo your job. So
I was a senior software architect, so I would...
Ooh, an SSA.
Yeah, but I never called myself that, but I do like it. All right, hold on.
Actually, I just went full-time. I mean, it was kind of scary, but I things are going pretty damn good already. So
it's dude. So for me, the big thing. I wonder if people like hearing about this, but for me, the big thing was like, there's no stopping you. Like there's no start and end time on this thing. You can work 24 hours.
That's what I love about it, because I mean. And there's direct reward for your effort too. I mean, you do a great video, you get great hits on it, you get immediate reward for it. And it's a lot of direct result to your effort. Whereas like you go to a 9 to 5 and it's like, oh, you did your job, congratulations, you get to keep your shitty job. And that's the way I felt anyway.
I one of the things that hit me when I was working at Cisco, and there were like some rough times, right? This is like, I don't know, 2008-ish or 9-ish or something. And they hadn't given raises for a while. And then they finally gave me a raise, and it was like 3%. Yet my YouTube channel was growing like 1% a day. Yeah. And I'm like, a 3% raise representing like 3 years?
Yeah.
Like that's half a week. This is... So, yeah. Do you want to watch this video, Kyle?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So... I think the video kind of speaks for itself. I'm queued up at 1 minute and 43 seconds.
All right. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Ready, set, play.
So
that's me.
This is a great moment.
Is.
Okay, so my buddy Joe is working a little bit of strategy here. He says, well, let's go on the left side of the map. Maybe we can...
Is that Joe with the backwards hat?
Yeah. Start. Pick a few of them off on the break.
I'm surprised he doesn't pull out the MMA fighter card more often.
So going over here
just in random
circumstances.
like,
you're
out. No, I'm not. I'm a fucking UFC fighter.
Shoots me in the back of the kneecap. This guy right here. And then he realizes what he's done. And he felt terrible. He was like,
he shot me.
Fuck, I'm a fuck up.
It hurts so goddamn
much. I'm sorry. And
it hurt so fucking much. It was not all good at the time. He shot me right in the back of the kneecap.
So Kyle retold the story, and it was great because like someone does something bad, and you're like, it's okay, don't worry about it. I'm fine. He's like, I couldn't say that because it wasn't okay. It was not okay. It was not acceptable. I did not forgive him. I just couldn't. It hurt too much.
Yeah, that was definitely not a forgivable offense. I just kind of looked at him, glowered at him, and then just, all right, I'm going to keep walking now. I'll see you later. That was awful. It wasn't as bad as getting shot in the dick, though. That was just,
How's your dick?
It's better now.
It tastes the same.
Oh, I would imagine so. Maybe a little oilier.
Dear God. No, it's better now.
Did you get a bruise?
Yeah, I definitely had some dick bruisage. Definitely
Did you?
so.
So
Yes,
when you got
discoloration.
aroused in the morning, did it wake you up with a start?
No,
Just-
no. There wasn't any like pain at that point, but in the moment, like and for like probably an hour afterwards, it hurt a lot. It just hurt a lot. I almost threw up from the pain. It was really bad.
I had a similar injury once. It wasn't paintball, but so I was surfing, and it was in the fall, and I don't know if you've ever worn like a full suit or something, but there isn't really a perfect way to like put your junk. You know, there's no the cut of a full suit is a wetsuit with like arms and legs, and the cut of it is such that you can either sort of like jam the stuff straight down, but then it's almost like too held straight down.
It's like touching your butthole almost. And
You know
like,
what
this
really
isn't-
sucks? Does anyone here cycle? Do cycling?
I have done that.
So if you wear, the chamois lined padded cycling shorts for the sake of protection, which is kind of important, that is extremely uncomfortable when you think about it, because the chamois is designed to be like right up against your junk. It's like, don't wear underwear, don't you just chamois to shit really, and it's just like you have to wear like buttercream, and it just gets very nasty when you think about it. But what you're describing reminds me of like when I go cycling, because I do a lot of cycling, and it's just there's some unpleasant things we do to do the things we enjoy.
Yeah. What is buttercream? I want to jump back to that.
No, they actually call it.
Right.
I'm
You
not
just
even
go
kidding.
into
They
the
call
cold food section and rub it on your inner thighs.
it's got to be low-fat margarine. No, it's actually called chamois butter, and it's designed to keep you from chafing, because you figure you're sliding around on that seat, depending on how you're spinning, but it's literally designed for men to keep yourself from rubbing yourself raw on long rides.
So it's just something slick that you put down there, and they should call it Taint Paint. That's a way better name.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it is. It's I don't use it a lot, but when I go on like a long 50-mile ride or something, I will. But other than that, it's kind of gross, really, if you think about it.
We used to eat
cookies.
She just delivered milk and cookies.
Where's ours?
What kind of fancy cookie is that?
Yeah, individually wrapped.
Right? It
Pinkies
looks like it was
up.
like some sort of like gold aluminum foil wrapper on it or something.
We get our food delivered from this like co-op type thing, and it's
Oh yeah, support the community.
it's actually really nice. Our milk comes in like glass jars and stuff, and they have these.
They still
nice.
do that?
Yeah, Chiz delivers them.
Do you guys want to see my milk? It's pretty awesome.
I'm not sure I've ever had a dude ask me if I want to see his milk.
I want to see.
Which ties into what I was going to say, but there's a High Rock Farm. Looks like a chocolate chip cookie with maybe some peanut butter chips, because there's a hint of something
I like that.
right
Very well
there.
could be.
See, my fans know I'm in the middle of like a diehard weight loss routine right now, so you're really hurting me here, Woody.
Dude, so am I, and apparently I'm not very good at it. So, what was I going to say? Oh, Bag Balm. They don't use Bag Balm anymore?
But Bag Balm, that's thicker than the butter stuff, though.
I'm sure it's a Bag Balm. It sounds perfect for testicles, in my opinion, but it's designed for cow udders. Like the cow udders that get milked too much.
Yep.
So you just
Oh,
spread
yeah.
that on your junk, and it helps everything go a little better. So
Prevents chafing. Well, too much of this motion will give you chafing.
All kinds of products to keep your junk from rubbing raw.
yeah. Did you guys want to do a quick house update?
Oh, of course.
love to.
I always want to know what's going on with that fucking house.
So for Jay's benefit, and for anyone who doesn't see every episode,
I've never seen your mansion.
I bought this house. It's this great big thing. It's actually pretty cool, but we had it renovated. Like we got new paint and new hardware floors and etc. And it's been a nightmare. They said it would take 2 weeks. It has been a little over 3 months. And it's
I can't believe a contractor would mislead you.
it's gotten to the point where like the trust is gone, and the trust had been gone for some while now, but the illusion of trust is gone
you
too.
got 40?
What the hell?
What do you got?
Oh, I thought we were having a
What are you drinking,
homie? So I got a couple of beers. It's a Modelo.
All right. Okay.
So-
At least you took it out of the bag, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if people heard this because it happened while we were at paintball, but they served me with a summons to show up at court. So now Jamal is, I guess, suing us or something. And his attorney isn't very good because she's making these mistakes. Like the lien she filed against our house had the wrong year on it. You don't do small claims court and a lien at the same time. A lien, for people who don't know, is like a
contractor's lien, right?
Yeah, mechanic's lien. But basically they're like, he's putting a claim on the money that I owe the general contractor. It's the sub. So the general contractor didn't pay the subcontractor because he's bad at his job. What's new is this. I went to the county clerk. I put the $6,000 that he's trying to get in an escrow account. And now that lien isn't against like the money I owe it anymore. It's against this bond, this escrow account that I put. It's bonded there. So I'm kind of clear. It's like I paid it and then it'll just get divvied up as it is.
Your title up.
They finished the job. It's done. It's over. Final payment. And that was kind of a really big deal for me. I went down. I got the general contractor to sign this thing that says he can't put a lien. Like that's often what you do when you make your final payment. You get this final waiver of lien. And it was a lot like buying the house. Like finally, my wife and I were there. There were no contractors. Subcontractors aren't getting paid. That's like a big deal. People are hanging out in our driveway hoping to catch the general contractor. Andre's been there for 3 days. And that shit's over now. Everybody's like, I paid the GC. The job it was mostly done. I just back charged him like $200 for a couple bad things. Did
you do him for that rough kitchen counter thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
I billed him for the
75 more.
I billed him for the kitchen counter thing. They damaged some ceiling fan blades, so I billed him for 3 sets of new ceiling fan blades. And there was like a hole in the floor next to the wall that's not quite right. And it's not huge. It's like big enough to put maybe 2 quarters in, something like that. But I back charged him for that. And basically they widened the doorway, and now the hardwood floor that used to be under their molding is exposed. So yeah, I just back charged him a couple $100, sent him a final payment, got his lien waiver, and the house is done. Done. Wow. Over. And I'm very excited about that.
Isn't it sad, though, that you have to feel excited about being clean and clear of this drama just from wanting renovation? It's like here you are, a homeowner, you get the GC, and you're like, let's do some work to the house, but then someone else drops the ball and it's affecting you.
I talked to the sub's attorney today, and she was like, she was bitch. Total bitch. Like, I'm talking to her, I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. She's like, well, you're named in the suit. It is you and the general contractor who we're going after. And it's like, my checks have never bounced. They've never been fucking 30 seconds late. Like, I've been on point this whole thing. I made myself very available. I've been the GC on a lot of these things, figuring out, like, sourcing where we get materials from and stuff like that, planning the next stage. One of the reasons this thing would go so wrong, for example, like, they're laying flooring, right? They literally didn't have enough flooring for the job, and they didn't think to order more until they run out. So there's contractors just like, well, I put the last piece down, now what? Now 2 weeks of searching for more flooring. That kind of crap. Like, there's no planning ahead whatsoever. They're over their heads. So
I mean, when you need 60,000 square feet of prime maple hardwood flooring, it is difficult in your palatial estate.
I got the pool table set up and installed. That was pretty exciting.
The ping pong table, is that up there yet?
It is. I was actually so it's not like a super high end pool table, but it has a ping pong table that you can lay on top of it. And I was playing with Colin today. And that was pretty cool.
Showing no mercy, I'm sure.
I showed tons of mercy.
They're like bouncing off the wall behind him. He's like, why?
There were moments too, like Colin lobs up these big softballs, and I just want to be like, and I didn't. I just totally went easy on him the whole time.
No, you gotta just destroy him one of these games, and then turn it into a life lesson of like, that wasn't fun. Well, life won't be fun if you don't shape up your act.
That's what I do for Kyle. That's the Kyle treatment. But there will be a time when he and I compete aggressively. He's just not there yet. But
so Chris Hansen, let's talk about him.
Okay.
Can we talk about Chris Hansen now? All right. So I am the biggest To Catch a Predator fan ever. I
know you are. And a former star, I believe, right?
Yeah. I'm season 3 alum. Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I'm a huge fan.
Mr. Hansen, could I have your autograph?
You have no idea how many girls I fucked waiting for this moment.
Yeah. Time and time again, and it wasn't you, but now. So for those of you who don't know who Chris Hansen was, he was the host of a Dateline special that used to come on called To Catch a Predator. And basically, They would pose as an underage girl or boy, usually 12 or 13 years old, lure men to a home somewhere, and they would have law enforcement waiting outside. But on the inside, they usually have a decoy who looks like the person the adult was communicating with online, plus our real star, Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen is so hilarious once he confronts these pedophiles because he's done it so many times. He's got complete control. He's just like, "Hi."
But not to mention, there's like 8 bodyguards behind the camera.
Oh yeah, totally.
Or like sitting in
Would
another
you like
room.
some cookies? Would you like having some lemonade there? Yeah, just have a seat.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
the offering of treats. The traditional offering of treats for the pedophile is the best because they have to sit there and like nervously nibble on a raisin cookie. I guarantee he gives them raisin cookies.
But it's so
like, fuck you, you're a pedophile.
It's so poetic though, right? To offer the pedophile treats.
So, at some point, and I may be getting this wrong, but I think what happened is the show got taken off the air after it seemed like they caught a guy on the show, and then there was a standoff with police, and then that guy killed himself. I think that happened, and the show hasn't been on the air in many years now. It seems like, and I've missed it. I was actually watching YouTube clips of it the other night. You can find like full episodes on YouTube, and they're hilarious. But he's got a Kickstarter program going. Let me see if I can link you guys to it here. Because they want to bring To Catch a Predator back to the interwebs. So it's Kickstarter.com projects.
Oh, that's right. Doesn't he need some, what, 400K or something like that?
Seems cheap enough to me.
$400,000 to embarrass pedophiles on television.
We could do that for
I think
free.
it's steep. Yeah.
Right?
If we can find them.
I'll certainly do it for $200,000.
Well, he's got it broken down.
Oh, it's
and,
75,000. Yeah.
where that money goes. Which
He looks older.
He does. Chris Hansen has aged a lifetime of fighting pedophilia. Remarkably, funny enough, has made him actually look older. You would think that it would be the opposite, maybe, but no. He's
he like Benjamin buttoned his way into eternal life by fucking with pedophiles.
by defending children's like virginity. Yeah, that'd be funny. That's how it should work. So yeah, I'm thinking about contributing to this thing because I noticed that for $500. You get to have like a 20-minute Skype conversation with this guy, and I was thinking like, what if we gave him $500 and then just, it's already bought up.
What?
Damn it! Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm dumb. I saw 10 of 10 left, and I thought that was they were all gone. So yeah, for $500 we could potentially get him in a 20-minute Skype conversation, and I think that would be really fun.
Dude, we should totally do that. And I feel like if we were to get him on and help him pimp his thing, like. Because it says in here something that was bad. Estimated delivery December. I don't know. It seemed like if he delivers it right now instead of December of 2015, that we could help him promote his Kickstarter on our show.
Yes.
And maybe, it would be a motivation for him to do it today.
Yeah. And maybe we could
we definitely would. And then we would be transitively fighting pedophilia through him.
I love
We're
that
on
he'll
the right
do
side
like a
of the law.
voicemail for you for some of the smaller amounts of money. I think that'd be really funny to just have him call somebody. He'd be the best to do prank phone calls.
Dude, we should make this happen. Do you want me to do it right now?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
Yeah,
I need to...
do it.
I want some of that merchandise though. Like the mug, maybe. Like To Catch a Predator mug.
Yeah. That needs to be a stipulation. We'll help you fight these perverts. So
Yeah.
we need mugs, shirts, customized.
Some of the... So he's always got the chat log, right, of what the adult was saying to the imaginary minor, and that's the best part for me. The guy will be there. He's like, well, how old did she say she was? He's like, maybe 17, something like that. Oh, well, that's not what it says, right? And he starts flipping, and they're just like, oh Lord, well, you don't have to look through all that now. Hang on.
It's all multicolored,
penis?
like highlighted.
Is this your penis right here? Yeah. You sent that to a 12-year-old girl, really? And it's just humiliating. And you see this guy's life evaporate away. It's
and how just disinterested and deadpan almost he reads it, where he's like, "Well, that's not at all what the transcript reads. It seems here that you told little Jessica that you'd like to, and I quote, tongue her butthole. Now, how do you feel about that? Do you think that's something you said? Well, that's not what I meant." And
then right here, wanted to get the cat involved in a sexual scenario. Now, what kind of man comes to find a 14-year-old boy and wants to get a cat involved with the sex act as well. And they're just like, well, you know how it is.
what I love is,
and I'm just bored a lot, just trying to kill some time before
what
my
I
next
love
ship.
is just how like straight faced and like business like he is. Like, you know, so on page 2, you mentioned a meat spin. What exactly is a meat spin? You know, and he just humiliates you with just like kindness.
You mentioned her attending a lemon party. What did you mean by that?
He'll ask, he's like, did you bring the condoms? Yeah, I brought the condoms and the lube. Did you bring the lubricant? Yeah, I brought the lube. And it's like, what are you doing to him? Just let him go. You give him enough. Let him go outside and get beat up.
So it's done. I've pledged $500 to get Chris Hansen to, hopefully he comes on the show, we can pimp his thing, and it's a win for everybody.
Worst case scenario, me and you will have a private Skype conversation with Chris Hansen, and we'll record it without his knowledge. See how he likes it.
Have a seat over here.
What if we began our Skype conversation with like fucking with him about his DUI arrest a few years ago?
No.
That would be really funny. Do you think that every restaurant he goes into, the hostess is always like, "Oh, have a seat right over here," and he gets tired of it? Because I could imagine that.
But she's really just doing her job, but he's getting pissed at her for no reason.
Yeah. So I told people that for justice. Like
there it is, boys. Your Patreon money going to good use. Chris Hansen.
Yeah. Some of the distances that those men drive, like 5.5 hours and stuff like that. Like some of them take buses. And it's like they're coming in. One guy last night had cerebral palsy, so he comes in like he's really unstable. He's got a cane, and I mean this guy cannot walk well at all. It took him 5 minutes to get from his car to like seated in a chair, and he's just wobbling around everywhere. And he's just like, "Well, I want to kiss you and hug you first." And she and like the girl who's pretending to be 12 is there. She's like, "Oh, well, what else did you want to do?" With the razor, she's like making him incriminate himself more and more. He's like, "Well, I wanted to shave you down there, you know." And it's just like it keeps getting worse and worse. And then Chris Hansen's like, "Oh, a little shaving, huh?" That's my favorite part when their world comes crashing down in that moment. That's
the whole moment. That's like the peak of the show. Like, they set the whole thing up, and you're watching, and then the moment the guy like cameras roll in, Chris Hansen rolls in, and he just realizes like, oh my god, my life is over.
I'm sorry, you got it a little bit wrong, but because when the cameras roll in, that's when it really punctuates the moment. Because up until then, they don't know who he is. There's a moment where he confronts them, and oftentimes they think that he's like the father of the girl, maybe a police officer. Sometimes they think he's a therapist. They've said that. You're obviously a therapist. You got all the answers. And but in this case, and they're often rednecks. I don't know why. But in this, but when it really steps up a notch is when he goes, "Well, I'm Chris Hansen, and we've got a Dateline special about internet predators called To Catch a Predator." And then the cameras roll out, and it's a full like TV news crew, right, with the big cameras and the sound poles and everything. And in that moment, they know that this isn't an embarrassing afternoon anymore. This isn't the day that guy like really gave him a talking to. This is their life ending. This is NBC, and they're right there.
Do you ever see the episodes where they try and cover their face, but the ones where they don't even have the guy come around from the kitchen door, he comes around from behind them, and so you see these pedophiles where he's acting, and it's just like. just sheer horror, and it's over.
I love it. So yeah, I'm glad. I am honestly proud. I'm honestly proud that we backed his Kickstarter. That's a good one because he's he's getting internet predators off the internet. It's a good thing. Got to be.
I had heard an article that they were. This was yesterday, actually. It was on the radio where they were talking about some of the reasons why it was taken offline, and they were saying that there were some maybe not quite so up and up way of or methods of luring.
That's true.
Tell me more.
Well, it was supposed to be a lot of, I guess some of these conversations go where the guy is like, no, I'm not interested. No, that's not a good idea. Or no, but they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until he gives, and then they bust the guy. So there's been a lot of lawsuits that have come of that show too, where some of these pedophiles have gotten off scot-free because of the methods used of luring, where it became completely, not entrapment, but they... there was enough proof showing the person like it.
Wasn't. I don't mind that. I don't mind that because I've told Woody this before. I was like, I wouldn't get into that sort of a trap, because as soon as I've talked to girls on the internet, obviously they message me occasionally through one avenue or another. Facebook's usually the best way if you want to, and
send nudes with your driver's license.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm getting at is sometimes a 17 or 16-year-old girl would be like flirtatious with me on the internet, and I'd be like, I'm not even going to tell you that you shouldn't be flirting with. You just block communications, and like it looks so bad to be doing anything like that. I don't want any part of anything like that. You got to be 18 years old, or I just don't even want to be your friend or talk to you or anything like that. So when I see these guys, oh, did the 14-year-old beg you for cock? Really? You 300-pound neckbeard. You really thought that? Really, I mean, the actress that they've got portraying the 12-year-old is hot. She's 19 and she's hot. So this guy thinks that girl wants him to drive 5.5 hours to come to her like mansion while her parents aren't home and bang her and take her virginity. You thought that? You're the idiot. They deserve whatever they get.
They deserve that. And isn't it better when you know that they had to drive like 9 hours to get arrested?
And you know how hard it's going to be for them to get like bail and get out of jail the next day.
They're stopping for gas on the way, excited about it. Just maybe,
if you get like
some bugles. Everything's looking up, and then just keep driving down there.
If you get a drunk and disorderly like in your hometown, then maybe your buddy, your uncle, whatever, somebody will get you out by the next day, and it's all good and everything.
No one's driving 10 hours to bail you out of jail for pedophilia.
Hey, honey. Hey, honey, I'm not making it home tonight. I know I said I was going to see Roger, but funny thing.
Celebrity along the way.
You ever see, you know who Chris Hansen is? Dateline NBC? Yeah. Well, I'm going to be on the show, funny enough. Yeah, you too. They're recording this right now.
Yeah. I'll be on TV. Look for me. Also, it turns out Roger is 11 and female, but, no biggie.
and it shows it's not scripted after all, so,
Now, that is the show. I like that. In an age where so much of reality is not reality, it's all scripted and fake and manipulated, there's a show that's real. I know it is because the cops are there at the end.
What they call that, scripted realities, and it's just stupid. But yeah, like some of these guys, the moment he even shows his face, they're just like up and out the door, and the cops have already got him on the ground because the moment he walks in the house, they're surrounded.
There was a guy last night. He was claiming that he was a police officer, and he kept like, as the thing went on, he was like giving himself a higher and higher like office, I suppose, or rank. At first, he was like, I'm a police officer, and then it was like, oh yeah, I'm a detective lieutenant, and it would just like kept getting better and better. And it turned out that he was like a training officer, and he had been suspended for using his blue lights on his own vehicle, and like he was nothing anymore. Mm-hmm. They thought that he might have a gun because he had told them he was a cop, so they were more aggressive with him, and they tried to tase him before he even made it out of the doors of the house, but only one of the prongs hit him, so it didn't work, and he starts screaming like a girl and running from them. No! And they've got to like tackle him back in the room where they were doing the whole interview and like hog time. It's great.
What I love is some of the guys who just get up and walk out before he can even say anything. It's funny that they handcuff them and stuff, but then there's like a jump cut, and he's sitting on the stool handcuffed. Like they walked him back in there. We're like, no, you're going to talk to Chris. So he's doing the interview handcuffed. Because normally they'll let them walk out like, okay, I'm ready. All right, go get arrested. And they're like kind about it. But I love when they're sitting there practically hogtied in the stool.
I feel like towards the end, especially, a lot of people did recognize Chris Hansen. Like the second he walked in the door, they're like, oh no, this is a bad day.
And the one that I watched the other night on YouTube, they for those who don't know, they do it in a different city, different town every time. So this one was in Kentucky, and yeah, that was the deal. Like one of the guys was like, "Oh yeah, I Dateline, To Catch a Predator. I know what." He's like, Chris Hansen's like, "What show?" He's like, "The one we're on right now." Like they know.
Like I don't think we would fall for it because I'm sure my first thought walking into the house would be, "This house is incredibly well lit.
Yeah,
it's very bright and abnormally bright."
There, all right, I'm looking nice.
You'd be thinking, this 9-year-old didn't make these cookies and set out this assortment of cheeses and meats for me. Something is up.
Sometimes it's too good. If
there's a reason it's Kentucky.
If you're not the kind of guy who regularly gets invited over to hot girl's house for some sort of a hot tub party, and all of a sudden out of the blue there's an underage one that wants you to, think twice. think twice, because if this is your first hot tub party with like where you need to bring a six pack of Bartles and James and a variety pack of condoms and some strawberry flavored lube and a razor and a big vibrator, and she wanted you to walk in the house naked, like they just want to embarrass you on Dateline, bro. I promise. That's all that's going on.
What the telltale sign is, I'm in the kitchen, you know, when they walk in the door.
Oh, the one I saw
yeah.
had a great decoy. That's what they call her. She's like hanging out with him in the living room, like probing him, like asking for incriminating stuff. Like she's asking him if he's going to shave her pussy, basically. And it's great. It's great. I love that show so much. So I'm glad that we invested. I hope he makes the show, and I look forward to potentially talking to him. That'd be cool.
That's the best justice show ever. Like, you know, the justice porn and art porn and history porn and all that stupid shit on the Reddit. That's the best justice thing ever, is seeing those pedos get their comeuppance on that show.
I like instant karma. Like, I'm a fan of when that happens. Like, you know, I don't know. Some guy will like pick on guy A, and then guy C rolls in there and instantly, like, you know, knock, what is it, KTFO, knock the fuck out. Just gets him instantly. I'm a huge fan.
There's that viral video of that redneck in the truck flipping off the lady with the camera, and then he spins his truck into the pole. Have you seen that video?
No, I don't think so.
It's like a wet day. He's in like he's in like a Silverado, right? It's kind of like big redneck truck. Mm-hmm. And apparently he had been tailgating this lady, and she turned on her cell phone and started videotaping him. And he blows past her on the right, and he sees that she's filming, so he backs up and he gives him like the most angry looking bird he could muster up. Like he's grinning his teeth. He's giving her the bird so hard. So then he gasses it and passes her. Yeah, just like that. So then he passes her, and the moment he like jerks in front of her to kind of cut her off, he accidentally spins his truck into the center median and like hits a light pole and then crosses the other lanes and hits a tree. And she starts busting up like, "That's what you get, buddy!" And she's just laughing her ass off. So that's like one of the most common like instant karma videos right now that's going around.
I thought I was going to get into a road rage fight today.
I'll put a link.
Woody. You rapscallion.
There's not much to it, really. But what happened was I'm in a interstate, and it was a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit. I was going 77 in a 70 in the passing lane. And that's about rightish for this road. You know, maybe 2 miles an hour too slow or whatever. And this guy in a little Ford Focus comes, like, zipping up. And I see that he's going to kind of, like, overtake me. And I moved to the lane. I was like, I'm moving over so that he can pass in the fast lane. But he was moving over so that he could pass to the right of me. And I guess I kind of blocked that, so he had to go back into the left and pass me. Rather than just zip by me, he stops. Like, he matches my speed. And next to me, he's just staring at me. Like, and I'm like, I don't know what the scoop is. And he's giving me a mean mug. He's like, and I give him one of these. like, are we mad? I don't know. I thought I did like the right thing. Like, I pulled over so you could pass and whatever. And then he just drives on and speeds up. But I thought, like,
you gave him the flabbergasted auto owner of just kind of did it. You know?
I was baffled by the whole situation. And I ended up passing him later because he slowed down. In my opinion, he needs to work on his speed better. Get cruise control. But and as I passed him, I was looking at him, and he didn't even look back over. But he was definitely mean mugging me, and I'm like, I don't know, the whole situation played out in my head. Like,
He's giving you the facial expression version of an angry letter.
yeah, that's about right.
I sent you the link to that road rage instant karma. It's only 28 seconds, but it's like, what are the odds of that happening right as, you know? It's just one of those right place, right time.
I'm queued up at 0, Merca.
I'm ready. I was thinking we could wait for Kyle for the video, though.
That's a long peek.
Maybe you don't think he would like it? I'll watch it now.
He might even know the guy. I don't know.
Yeah, he might. He knows a lot of nefarious characters.
I don't know. You kind of look like the guy in the video, Mirka. I'm just saying.
I want to see it.
I don't remember.
That bird face you made, it was perfect. I'm telling you.
Are you ready? That's an owl face.
I
it's
am
permanent.
Ready. Yes.
Ready, set, play. All right, we got a Silverado kind of tailgating here. That's a great look.
Yeah, so the
Okay,
universe
so
kind of worked out.
how satisfying. Yeah, like stuff like that is satisfying where someone's a cunt and then they get shoved off the road. But if you ever watched one of those videos that's like a minute long and like the beginning is the standard douche being a contentious asshole with somebody else, and then like he drives ahead or he gets in a fight or something like that, and then it becomes to justice like that, and there's a crash or a knockout punch, and then it gets worse where it's like, yeah, you get what you get, motherfucker, and then everybody starts stomping his head in, like killing him, or his car explodes off the side of a cliff, and then it's almost like too much justice.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, we just watched someone who made a shit maneuver die.
When justice
yeah,
goes
exactly.
wrong. Oh man,
That's another one you should start. When justice goes wrong.
Oh, I've got one.
That's a good show.
Dude,
Show title.
I think you guys will like this. So here we are. If it's the one I saw, it's all annotated, and they explain, like, this is the bad guy, etc. I hope it's the right one. Are you ready?
is a silver car.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, ready, set, play.
So Silver Car is the bad guy.
If I recall,
Let's see.
There
So
should
the
be, like,
gentleman with the dash cam is driving.
there it is. This guy needs to get over. This guy's a jerk. Yeah, this is totally the right one. You guys are gonna like it.
Oh, so he's trying to nudge him out here.
All right, so now we have turf war.
It's not letting him in.
First mistake is the sedan's trying to compete with the SUV. You're not gonna win.
I think he's just really not letting him in. This guy notices what? His windows are down.
Ah, so he shoots him. No, he doesn't. That's not what happens in the video.
So now he pulls over. What the fuck?
Oh, that is incredible.
Oh, you know what sucks about that? Did you notice the passing car coming the other way? He got hit too. Is his window down?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Innocent
That would ruin the
bystander.
story.
Who cares? They're like perfectly placed puddle.
Yeah, there were a ton of puddles, but yeah, it worked out. It couldn't have worked out any better.
And then the silver car caught up to him and pulled out a 9mm.
What is this, Georgia?
Yeah, that is likely. Or it was Russia, maybe, where people... Have you seen those Russian videos where a bunch of people just put stickers on people's cars when they're trying to do shitty things on the road? Have you guys
What's your
seen those?
opinion on those videos?
I think that at times both sides are equally dickish. Because sometimes the people who are putting the stickers on there are just going out of their way to be like, oh, this guy, and then just run over and throw a sticker on there, and the guy's like, well, you have to put sticker on the window. I just try to get to work. Or like just complaining about it. And then other times the Russian
think I've
driver
seen
is
this.
legitimately like full up on the sidewalk driving for half a mile, and then they justifiably put the sticker on.
I feel like they're usually full up on the sidewalk driving for half a mile. Well, and
But isn't that
sometimes
normal
they...
for Russia?
See, that's the thing. It appears to be semi-normal to like violate this traffic rule, and beyond that, like some of them are like, I'm so sorry, I don't normally do this. This is a special circumstance.
I don't normally run over pedestrians, but I was in a hurry today.
But they have no sympathy for anyone. So sometimes I feel like the to stop a douchebag people are douchebags themselves. Most of the time, though. Yeah, there was one, I think it was in Pussy Pass Denied, which is where I found it. The lady's like, I don't know how to drive backwards. How can you do this to a pretty lady? And she was just totally working the girl card. And it turns out she did know how to drive backwards. Yeah.
You should be able to drive it both
ways. You had a card that
ways.
said, disregard this person's accountability. And then you could play that. That'd be a pretty sweet card.
I've never seen these sticker videos. Are they secretly putting a sticker on a car that's like I'm a douchebag or something? I mean,
no.
What is they doing?
The sticker is I'm still in the small thing.
It's like a
The opposite of
manhole
that.
cover size sticker that says in Russian, but I can only imagine says like, I am a cunt who drives on the sidewalk.
And they put it on their front windshield. It's like a manhole covered sticker.
Oh,
yeah.
I did see one dude who just kind of got back at them even more. Because they're not going to be violent with you. They're just going to throw stickers on there. And this dude was sitting there parked where he shouldn't have been, stopping traffic. And they put the stupid sticker on there. And then he just proceeded to get out with a razor blade and just start spending what was probably like 40 minutes scraping off the sticker before he proceeded on his way. Where it's like
a routine
now these
for him.
people have to wait another 40. Like,
So I got like 10 drones in the mail today from Parrot, and I've been playing with them a little bit. This is one of them.
Make it fly.
looks like he made that out of Connects.
Are you good enough to make it hover right in frame?
I'm working on it.
Just come and go.
That sounds really cool.
I want it to hover near the mic.
Jerry would be
So
proud.
close.
Let's see if I can bring it down.
How many of those do you have?
10.
Do you have any of the jumpy ones?
Not put together.
You have to assemble them?
Well, they come in a box, yeah.
Sounds like a scary movie sound effect.
This would make for a pretty good podcast if it was in frame.
Yeah. Or a video podcast.
Let me see what I can
Primarily.
do. Hang on.
Oh,
Ah.
very clever.
Yeah.
Ooh, seeing the top of that shelf for the first time on PKA.
I know.
Right?
Is that a
Right?
hat
It's like
on the top
historians.
right? What are we?
Yeah.
Oh, you did it!
What's the battery life like?
Thud.
So, have you figured out what you want to do with them yet? In terms of video production?
They're getting shot. They're gonna fly around and get shot. Those ones are. Oh, there it is.
Oh no.
It's hard to do backwards.
How much are those if you just want to buy one?
$100, something like that, maybe. I'm not real sure. I've got the jumping ones too. Jesus Christ!
What are the jumping ones? What does that mean?
They're on the ground. They're like.
Oh no,
they're
the
like
wheel came
parts.
off.
That's okay.
Oh, so it's just a ground drone that hops about?
Yeah, pretty much.
It has like a
He's
spring-loaded
down.
piston that makes it jump, so you could like get it on the kitchen counter or on a kitchen table or something. Like it kind of launches itself in a hurry.
Yeah, it'll jump 3 fucking feet. Yeah,
Wow,
and
3
it's got a camera in it. I'm getting some of the Parrot drones too. So those fly like 750 feet away from you, and have a 1080p video camera in them and stuff, and they're pretty cool. I got some of their headsets too. Parrot really sent us a cool little gift basket. Lots of drones and headsets and stuff, and I think there's more stuff coming tomorrow. So
That's
I'll be
awesome.
playing with. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do, but I think those little ones are going to be flying. If I can get them to fly in formation, I will. But if not, they're going to be like coming straight at me, and I'm going to be shooting them with, I don't know, a shotgun or a machine gun or something.
Are they going to have anything rigged to them? It doesn't
I
look
don't
like they
know.
can haul heavy stuff.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can carry too much. So that's something I'll have to work on.
Yeah,
Could
Ziploc
they
bag
carry,
full
like-
of gasoline.
Probably not even a regular soda bottle, much less a 2-liter, right?
I don't know. I haven't
Not even
really
like a
played
20
with it
ounce?
much. I flew it outside to see how high it would go, and I fucked with the dog for like half an hour. So much fun. When the
Dak?
dog tries to bite it,
No,
oh
Dak?
god no, the little
Dax-
dog, Muppet,
what's his name?
Dak, like DAK.
I had it the first time.
Yeah. He's actually named after Dakota Meyer, the Medal of Honor winner, who I've actually met. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, they're really cool. I'm gonna have some fun with them, but they're getting destroyed most likely.
Yeah, good times. So Jay, tell us about your show.
I pretty much do all like computer technologies, gaming, graphics cards, gaming builds, water cooling stuff. So I mean, we do some like headphones and some gaming content, but mostly it's just like all about high-end PCs. And I'm a computer nerd through and through. Ever since I was old enough to start typing away on a computer, I've done everything to do with computers. So I actually started on a dare though. It was actually from someone in the MLG COD community.
Uh-huh.
And I was never into Call of Duty once it got away from like World War II stuff. So it was kind of funny the way that we met. But yeah, he dared me to do a channel because I was doing Twitch first, just for the heck of it. Because I wasn't even trying to grow on Twitch. I just was doing it so a friend could watch Battlefield while he was traveling. And he came in and thought that I was funny, and so he said you should do YouTube. And I said, who the heck would watch me do computer stuff on YouTube? I didn't even know like you could subscribe to channels. I was that ignorant to the whole YouTube thing. So he was like, he dared me to do it for a month just to see what would happen, and it became so fun and addicting, and the subscriber growth was growing that through almost 3 years later now, it's my job. So it's fun though. I wouldn't change it because I love this way more than what I was doing in IT.
I get that. So how do you have sponsors who give you gear and stuff to help you put things together?
Yeah, I mean, if like my system here, I'll turn my camera so you guys can see it. But my system over here is a I can't even. This is weird backwards.
It's working though. Yeah.
That looks like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles computer.
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, it's my my main gaming rig, but that rig there was about $10,000.
That looks cool.
But I mean, it's all water cooled, and I'm getting ready to upgrade it again to like all new Titan cards and stuff. But that stuff's all sponsored. But like any other product reviewer, you know, I get companies that will send in the product for review, and it's marketed as a sample, so I get to keep it. But there's no payment that transacts for doing the review. So I just do performance reviews and my opinion on this high end tech stuff. So
how do you balance like free products or even cash versus like reviews and things like that?
Well, the product comes in, and most of the time I get to keep it. Every now and then, somebody needs the item back because it's just it's a sample that's got to make the tour through the different medias. But most of the time, I just keep the stuff. Like the closet behind me is, if I opened it up, it's just from floor to ceiling with all hardware.
I imagine the stuff doesn't have that much value to you. Like if I were to give you, say, an Android phone, you'd be like, great, I'll put it with the rest.
Pretty much. Like I have a Galaxy S6 sitting up on the shelf because I just haven't even had interest yet to turn it on, let alone do a review on it. But that wasn't even sent for review. That was just kind of sent like, here, we thought you'd like it. It's like, cool, you know. But it does kind of suck in the sense though that being an enthusiast of the hardware, being at this level of it now, has taken away a lot of like, oh my god, this is so awesome. You know, you kind of become jaded to it. So it is kind of hard to maintain, I guess, kind of a grounded approach to it, especially when a lot of my subscribers are asking me to do, hey, could you do more affordable stuff that maybe we could afford to do? And so I'm kind of trying to gear and kind of cover the full spectrum of that.
You ought to manage it the Painkiller already way. We just sell the fuck out. Like, oh, bag bomb? Dude, that's the only thing I'll put on my junk.
We have no morals. No morals and no standards makes for great advertisers.
Well, you know what? You know what people like about my channel though is, and I get a lot of hate for it too, because let's face it, technology itself is kind of boring. I mean, how do you talk about computer parts and make it exciting to where hundreds of thousands of people want to watch? That's
right.
Why?
It's very hard.
So I mean I'm a regular guy. I've got a dirty mind, so I do a lot of innuendos and kind of dirty jokes mixed in with the videos that are not like in your face, but they're very subtle to where you're kind of like, oh my god, this is hilarious. So that's kind of my twist on it. And it's funny though, because I get a lot of people that will say something like, "Oh my God, less dick jokes, please." But you know, there's like 1,500 or 2,000 people for every one of those saying, "We love what you're doing, just keep it up." And even companies like Nvidia, I did a complete trolling video on their new Titan, $1,000 graphics card, and I did a whole review talking about what a piece of shit it was. And then by the end of the video, I turned into complete fanboy, right? Like sold out fanboy. Even Nvidia like called me up on the phone and had a personal meeting with me to tell me how much they loved that approach and that unconventional way of doing things. So it's working. So I just go with it.
I heard a joke that's only dirty if you have a dirty mind.
What is that joke, Woody?
Why didn't Ken and Barbie make a family?
Why?
Because Ken comes in a different box.
I knew where it was going. Coming in boxes. I knew it had to. There's nothing else.
Great.
I feel so. I just wanted to throw this out there. I feel horrible right now. I'm on so much cough medicine. I feel like I'm shifting between dimensions right now.
I had that a couple weeks ago.
You look good though, Kyle.
Yeah, you look cute in your poncho.
Kind of
Not very
leaning to the left,
shapely,
though.
but
Yeah, he's a little tippy. I'll give him that. But Kyle, I saw Kyle in person for the first time in months, maybe probably not a year, but first time in a while. And Kyle has gotten fit. I think he's gotten stronger and leaner. Mm-hmm. It's a good combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid,
I'm down,
sexy
Very
Kyle.
lean. Nubile.
Yeah, I'm down to like 175 pounds or something like that. feeling good.
And no body fat. He doesn't feel good at all. That part was a lie.
Like right now, I feel terrible right now. But in general, I feel great.
I shouldn't start talking weight loss because my fans will be like, "We just shut the fuck up about it already." Because I kind of have I have a separate channel that's all about weight loss stuff because I used to weigh 500 pounds. And
Wait,
so
what? You did?
Time out.
Hold on. Back up.
That's why last year when you guys were dealing with all of the what, I was just on the sidelines going, "Come on, dude, just get your shit together." But
congratulations to you for doing it.
Holy cow.
Excellent.
But
500.
Wait, walk us through that tale. 'Cause I'm interested in this now.
Hold the train. Stop the train.
Okay, so let's see. My biggest, I was 494. That was in 2009.
Oh, so you were exaggerating about this whole thing.
You couldn't push it.
Oh,
No.
5.
Just get that.
Couldn't get the last 6.
Jesus Christ, I was impressed.
Well, but fully clothed, there was like 6 pounds of denim to cover that body. So,
all right.
but no, I mean, I'm not even embarrassed to say. I mean, I did have a weight loss surgery in 2009. But here's the thing: I lost a lot of weight, and I put a lot of it back on.
Mm-hmm.
So to get back down to where I am now, I had to do it very natural because I had stretched my stomach back out and everything, and I wasn't going to go through that again. So that's why I said I started eating right. I cut out soda. I cut out a lot of the fatty foods and stuff. But I started being active. I started, like I said, I do the cycling and stuff. So that's like my lifestyle now. And the fact that I'm self-employed, I can get up in the morning and go out for a 30 or 50 mile bike ride. And I do that every day.
Shit.
So it's just a lot of hard work now.
That is a lot of saddle time.
Better shape than all of us.
Now you know why I need
people go from fat to fit. That's
now we know
great.
why the bag bomb is necessary.
Now you know why the chamois butter, right?
Yeah.
How many miles a week do you go?
You're strapping in for 50 miles plus. You want those balls.
Right.
Chamois butter.
I just stepped up my weekly up to 200. I'm trying 200 miles a week, but it started at 50 and then 100 and 150, and now we're at 200.
Oh, that's great.
So.
My car doesn't do that, man. That's congratulations.
No, that's the thing now, though, is I tell people all the time, I'm in my bike more than I am my car now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull up a before picture for you guys here because I tell people that all the time. They're like, "No, fuck away, you weren't, such and such."
So how did you get big?
Yeah.
In high school and in college, I was really athletic. I played football from age 8 through 21. I played up through college, and we were doing 2-a-days. We were doing summer drills. I mean, I was eating 6,000 calories a day, but I was also working out 4.5 hours a day.
What position did you play?
I was actually a right tackle.
Okay.
But I was actually the smallest right tackle on the offensive line. I was 6'4" and about 260. And then I used to coach tennis. So I would, on the off season for football, I would coach tennis. So I would slim down to about 210. So I yo-yoed back and forth for sports, back and forth to get into the right shape for the sport. And then once I stopped sports, the appetite didn't go away. So it took about 5 years, but I just kept gaining weight every single year.
Wow.
So.
That's not that uncommon for college athletes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look at all the pro or former NFL players. They're all fat. I mean, you look at these Hall of Famers. They're all super big. But I mean, I've sat and hovered around the back and forth between 290 and 310 now for the last 3.5 years, and I finally said, "Fuck it, I've had enough of this." I got tired of every video I did. People "Wow, Jay, you're getting fatter." I was gaining weight, and you could see it on the videos. You could see the progression of Jay's getting super fat again. And so the haters fueled my desire to make a change, but then the supporters are what kept me going. So in the last 2.5 months, I've already lost 40.9 pounds in 2 months.
Nice.
So we're only 40 pounds now from my ideal weights of 220. I'm just over 260 right now.
Wow. So what was your trek? Because you said you went from huge, lost a bunch when you had the surgery, and then you got bigger from there. So how big did you get after the surgery before you were then oh, let's cut it back down? Was that the 290, 310 thing you were talking about?
I had gotten all the way back up to 330. But then I started being able to kind of keep things plateaued right around the 300 mark, plus or minus about 10 pounds either way. But the thing was, I had my second child, and so I was doing the YouTube thing full time. I was working full time, so eating habits were just right. I was grabbing fast food or anything out of the frozen section that I could anytime I needed to eat. So I wasn't fueling. I was just eating whatever, and then I wasn't sleeping. So all those things factored into weight gain again. So I just got to the point literally where I had enough, and I watched the way things were going down with Wings, and I tried rooting for him, but I just said, you know what, I'm going to just do this for me, fuck it, and literally overnight made a change. On January 26th of this year, and the progress has just been insane.
Good for you, man.
I hate talking about it. I know, like, it just kind of flowed out, but it's because I've had this conversation a dozen times now, like on camera. But I don't like sounding preachy because I know what it's like. Like, I know what Wings was going through, and I know what Boogie's going through, and because I know Boogie personally, he and I chat about it all the time. It's no different than addiction to smoking or drinking or drugs or whatever. It's a different chemical thing in your head that you can step away from that stuff. You can't step away from food. So it's the opportunity of slipping is always there.
I have my own opinion on that. And I haven't been as big as these guys, but like, okay, it's addicting. I get that. But I think it's addicting in the same way that like the internet is or gaming is. Like there aren't the same kind of withdrawals that you might suffer from like cigarettes or heroin or what have you. And the other part of it I sometimes hear, which is like, hey, it's easier to quit cigarettes because you don't have to have a cigarette, but I have to have a food. I have to have food. It's not an excuse, guy, because I feel like you might have to have food, but you don't have to have Hungry Men. You don't have to have 2 plates. You don't have to have like
those come down to habits. That's entirely habits, and the thing is, we make excuses for our habits all the time, and then we start justifying, just this once, or whatever, and then you start coming up with the excuses of, I have a thyroid, or I'm addicted, and you start using it as your out. But that's really what it took for me to start getting this to work again, was realizing, you know what, there's no one to fucking blame for my situation but me, and I'm the one in charge of this. So it took probably a good 30 days of just, no matter how much I wanted to go have a pizza or something, to just be like, no, today I'm having my proteins and I'm having my sweet potato, and I'm just going to do it. And then after about a month, it became programmed to where the rest just kind of fell into place, and it's on autopilot now. When right now, when you guys were like, hey, the show is starting, and I was a little bit late, I was like, oh fuck, I was in the kitchen eating a salad. Because I just finished our podcast and my wife made me a salad and I was eating that, and I enjoyed that food now. So once you reprogram yourself, it's the reprogramming yourself that's hard, and I don't make excuses for me or anyone else, but I at least can empathize the mindset. But I also am of the mindset that there's no person on here that can overcome whatever it is that you're dealing with, as long as you actually train yourself to do it.
Another thing that I think is true, and you probably will too, is that someone else can't fix you. Right, it has to come from internally. There are a fair amount of people that have asked me to fix Wings. Kyle gave it a go. I don't know if you saw the boot camp stuff.
I watched those many times, over and over. Not for the reasons that Kyle, that you were doing with Jordy, but
for the laughs, though, right? Yeah.
Well, at the time, when I was going through my weight gain again, and I was kind of looking for like just the mindset. I was like, okay, Kyle's fit. Why is Kyle fit and why is Jordy not? Why am I not? What's different? What's different about your life versus mine, and why isn't it working? And then it just came to realize that none of it was working because I kept looking outside. Well, what's Kyle doing? Well, why isn't it working for me? Well, because I wasn't doing what Kyle's doing. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't exercising. So, of course, the result is going to be...
Please don't make me a good example for eating right.
No.
I just don't. I don't know why I'm able to get away with it. I skip a lot of meals, for one thing, I think. But
then that's why, dude.
I just put a picture in the Skype there, by the way.
Wow. That's not even recognizable.
That was me when my first daughter was born.
Incredible.
So that was 2009.
Wow.
Yesterday, I'm trying to remember what I ate yesterday, but I think it involved, I made yellow rice, which is like yellow rice and like a can of black beans and a can of like diced tomatoes. That was lunch. I ate a large pizza for like second lunch. There was a Taco Bell extravaganza, as I like to call it, in the evening, which is basically go to Taco Bell and spend about $25. I ate like half it's so much. I ate like half the fucking menu. And then like at night, I guess it was like 1 a.m. I was hungry again, so I had a French fry extravaganza. So I basically just fried 4 potatoes and covered those with my own special salt recipe.
Four potatoes.
I don't believe it.
Maniac.
Like here's what I think.
I'm not done. There was oatmeal too. There was oatmeal too. I make my own like apple cinnamon oatmeal. I grate the apples on a cheese grater, and yeah, I had my oatmeal around 2 a.m.
This is the reason that fat people think that they eat the same as thin people like Kyle is that Kyle rattles these off like a tale of extravagance. Like, you need to realize that this is not the norm. And then when Kyle goes out to get a big burger and he has a fat friend there, that fat friend thinks, oh, Kyle eats like this all the time. This is what Kyle eats. So then they rationalize because they don't realize that Kyle's skipping meals
Lots of them.
way more often than other people, and eating way less, just a quick handful of almonds here and there, just to get through the day, stuff like that. I don't know.
Clearly, his diet's not perfect, right? We're not going to pretend he is a disciplined.
Nobody's diets are perfect. I mean, I have a personal trainer that I've been working with for 3 years, so that's what I do my strength training with. So I cycle 5 days a week, and then I do lifting 3 times a week. And my trainer, he's a 2-time Mr. California bodybuilding champion. So he's a bodybuilder, and he understands diet and how to fuel and how to feed your body. So he helped me come up with a plan that had plenty of deviations that weren't going to hurt me. But we came to the conclusion that 1 or 2 cheat meals a week is fine, where I can just go out and be like, okay, for this meal, as long as I'm not eating a smorgasbord, then I can just not worry about it, because 95% of my fueling is proper, so it's not going to hurt me. But you have to, if you're watching this right now and you're overweight and you're thinking, well, then I can do that. You have to ask yourself a serious question, though. Can you have that one meal and not fall off the wagon? If you're the kind of person that can have that one meal and then you're just going to be craving that next one and that's all you're thinking about, having that cheat meal is probably not a good idea, because you can't necessarily reward yourself with what you're damaging yourself with if you can't control it. And let's face it, if you get up to as big as I was, or whatever, then obviously there was a time when you couldn't control it. So you got to be honest about it.
It's almost like a food war. Food Wars, by the way, is one of the featured shows that Crunchyroll wants you guys to know about this month, along with Naruto and Sailor Moon Crystal. That's right, crunchyroll.com/PKA. You get free for 30 days, 1080p quality. Doesn't matter what device you're using. It literally works on every conceivable device. And it's approved by Duct Tape Man himself. So go check him out and get a month for free.
Goddamn, best segue in the history of Painkiller already.
Oh yeah, great time for an ad read. But anyway, back to you, Jay. So I was curious about this because I've heard about the weight loss surgery, the lap band is what it's called, correct?
No, I had a Roux-en-Y, which was a bypass.
Okay.
There's several of them. What did you have again?
It's called a Roux-en-Y. It's a full bypass. So my entire large intestine's bypassed.
Okay,
oh, wow.
Did they just pull it out like the old one?
Pretty much. It's like almost like a horror movie. It's like, we'll undo this, we'll tie this, and it's all laparoscopic. But the thing is, when I first got it, it was like, okay, I just had a car accident 4 or 5 months prior to that, which was nearly fatal. It took 8 firefighters to get me on the gurney. Then the gurney wouldn't stay locked down in the ambulance while they were transporting to the trauma center, because I was too heavy for the gurney. It kept trying to tip over, because just the wheels lock in. And so it ended up being 4 firefighters in the ambulance just to keep the thing upright. They couldn't get an IV in me because they were too busy struggling with holding me down. So that was like my final straw, where I was like, okay, fine. I don't care about the judgment calls. I want to live. My wife was 3 months pregnant with my first daughter at the time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't care about the judgment. I just want to live longer. But then I didn't change anything. I was like, oh, cool, I've got this magic wand now, and I'm going to be this magic fat loss machine, and I can eat whatever I want. And that worked for the first year and a half. But the thing is, over time, when you start introducing more and more foods to your diet, and a surgeon told me, too, he's like, this is not a fix. This is a tool. And if you use the tool improperly, you will gain your weight back. We've all heard about these people who've gained all their weight back after surgery.
My brother did it.
And I was on my way there. So... I'm sorry, Merc. I forgot what your question actually was. But
he asked about the surgery.
Oh no, continue. Yeah, no, continue.
No, I would get this negative reinforcement. Like if I ate something that was fatty or sugary, I'd get like super sick, right? I would just feel like I never threw up, but I'd feel like throwing up. I was sweating. I was having palpitations. Total reaction, which was what the surgery is designed to do. It's designed to negatively reinforce the stuff you shouldn't eat. But then I got to the point where I built up a tolerance to it and just powered through it. That's how bad my eating habits were.
What's your favorite? What were your favorite bad foods?
I was never really that much into fatty foods, but I was a sweetaholic, like ice cream, chocolate, just like Hot Pockets, things like that. Just things that for the most part.
Hot Pockets are pretty good.
I heard they use horse meat.
Yeah. I don't care.
Well,
none of it.
But was there a point when you were after you'd gotten the surgery where, like, was there a definitive point ever where you were eating a lot more than you knew you were supposed to and you could feel it getting uncomfortable and then you just chose to forge ahead? Or was it such an addiction that it was like you didn't even notice you were just doing what you were doing?
You know what happened was you could only eat so much, like small portions. But I would eat every hour or two, which is actually the way it's designed to work, but you're supposed to eat every hour or two the proper foods in small portions. But the thing was I would eat one piece of pizza and then another piece of pizza an hour later. And then by the end of the day, the whole pizza's gone plus whatever I ate in between. Mm-hmm. So the eating habits didn't change, just the quantities. But over time, you'll hear the term like, oh, they stretch their stomach back out. What actually happens is the part of this is kind of the part of the intestine that they attach to your stomach, that starts to stretch out and become longer, like a clown balloon. Think of it like that. So you start to make an artificial stomach that's bigger. Then you can eat more, and you can eat more. And then over time, you eventually pass that deficit where you're eating more calories than you're burning. So over time, you just slowly creep it back. So you have a sudden fall and then like a gradual, incline again.
That's the thing that I think young people don't get. Like, you don't have to misbehave too badly to gain like, 3/4 of a pound a month.
Yeah, and then long term.
And that's 9 pounds a year. Then you let 5 years go by, and all of a sudden you're 45 pounds more than you were before, and you've done a thing. And it was only...
And if you had this surgery in your 20s, and you're expected to live, 70s or 80s, and it's, say, 5 to 10 pounds a year, look how... It won't be long before you're obese again.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, like, I'm kind of living proof, though, that tool is still there, no matter what you do. That as long as you start like using it right again, exercising and eating right, then the results can be really good and they'll flip around. And now I can't eat nearly as much as I could 3 months ago because when you're eating right and you're exercising, then your stomach naturally shrinks again.
Woody can kill it. Woody can fucking kill it. We were at a Brazilian steakhouse. He ate so much meat. He ate more meat than like a wolf would have eaten. Joe Lozon was over there like pushing it away, flipping the red card over. I was long done. Even Chiz, we all gave up.
No. Woody won that night. It's an expensive meal, and you treat yourself to all that protein. Woody, thumbs up. You did the best job that night. Don't let Kyle kill you.
I don't even think he touched forward to that meal for like a year.
We went to the salad bar. Woody's like, fuck that shit.
Exactly. It sounds like Woody won this in spades.
He used a salad plate for his meat.
So we went to Fogo de Chao. That's what the restaurant is called. It's a Brazilian barbecue. And I had been there once, maybe 3 or 4 years earlier. And I wanted to go back since. And I like saved my appetite up all day to the point when I arrived at Fogo de Chao, I was sick. Like I had a headache. I was nausea. I'm like protecting myself from lights. I was dehydrated. I wanted to bring my appetite. But I kind of overdid it, and I brought myself in like a worn down, broken state, and then I fucking fixed it. Joe was talking about how much he ate, and it was like, yeah, I'm not done yet. And by the end, he's got so there's a little flip card. You leave it green side up if you want more food, and you put red down. And everyone was just like, I submit. They put their red up, except me. I was just rocking it.
That's what I don't like about those Brazilian places is that it's almost like you have to admit losing at the end of the meal. Because it's like you want to win. You want to keep going until the guys come out and they're like, we just simply can't make another pig for you. There are no more to be had. But you have to submit, and I don't like that.
We've sacrificed way too many goats for you tonight, Mr. Woodward.
Dude, they stopped coming around, didn't they?
I don't know. It was getting kind of late.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was towards the end of the night. Because I mean, like at first they brought the food so fast and furiously that it was hard to keep up.
I've only been to Brazilian barbecue once, and I just felt weird because I couldn't identify the meat easily. And that
they tell you, but they've got a really thick accent. They're like double steak, and I'm like, double steak? No, our specialty. And I'm just like, well, that's different from the first thing you said. But okay, yeah.
It doesn't matter though.
Is piling up. Finally,
you just gotta be like, but is it me?
But I just can't help but keep being reminded of the movie Bridesmaids. After they went to the Brazilian barbecue and they all started shitting in their wedding dresses and stuff at the restaurant or at the store. But I've been to Brazilian barbecue once and I felt sick after too. So maybe that's normal. I didn't even try to play.
Dude, I felt sick afterwards. Like, we're in the hotel and I'm up in the middle of the night using the potty. Like, yeah, it's good. It's good. Get this out.
I bet it felt like someone was just pouring magma right through your butthole, like a spaghetti strainer.
That was not my favorite. That was not my favorite meal of the trip. I really liked Portillos. If you're in the Chicago area and you've never been to Portillos, it's so fucking good. I love that place. That was my favorite meal of the whole trip.
Portillos was excellent. My favorite meal wasn't even about the food. I liked the first meal because it was like
the one I wasn't at.
You were there. You just came midway through. But it was like the launching pad for
nachos.
I don't understand that. I feel like we left with
when
nachos.
I got there were like crumbs and stuff. I didn't want to pick through those.
They brought us
already got the good ones.
They got a second one. The chicken
so
nachos
sad
came.
About it.
You weren't there when the chicken nachos arrived?
By the time I got there, they were long gone. Like the pizza arrived a few minutes after I did, but you know.
Yeah. You know, you should have had Kitty order 2 of every appetizer for you twice.
There were
for
2. There were 2
2
of those. They ate them all before I could get there. It was
the launching pad for the trip. That was,
I didn't get launched properly. It was the next day before I was enjoying the trip, I guess. No, that was a great time. I'm looking forward to doing the next one. I think we're gonna go back. I'm going back July 25th or whatever it is. I'm doing another event.
Is
there.
that set in stone? Are we doing it again? Or
I'm like 90% sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's that UFC event. So
yeah.
I think it'd be cool if Joe came and I came and Joe, if this gets to you, score tickets. Just saying. What'd you say, Kyle?
I think maybe Taylor can make it. July 25th.
I will do my damnedest because I would like to play some paintball. I haven't played since the last time we all played, and that
was great.
The best part about that trip wasn't even the paintball, which I've heard Woody allude to multiple times. And it's not the meals; it's just it's a lot of fun hanging out.
Yeah,
that's true. I will say,
fun shooting the shit.
The paintball was better on this trip than I'm used to. Like normally, the paintball is a little exhausting. There's a lot of walking involved, and I am. God, I don't want to put down Living Legends, but the nature of it is there'll be like 200 people versus 200 people in a spot. And I don't care how good you are. It's hard to have any influence on that. You can either cower in fear and just occasionally hoping to get one guy, which does nothing, or you can be brave and insta-die. And that's the nature of it. But in this, where it was like 50v50, if you can take 4 or 5 guys or something, you've done a thing. Yeah. And it's not so dangerous to advance from like obstacle to obstacle that you can succeed at it and flank a team.
I've been to Living Legends. It's pretty overwhelming, like you said, and especially when you start dealing with like the other aspects of it too, where they start bringing out the vehicles and the grenades, and it's just so much. And not only that, it's almost like it's such spray and pray. You can't actually see your targets whether or not you're hitting someone.
It rains.
Yeah, it's insane.
It rains painful paintballs.
I was fucking making it rain. I love my gun. I had so much fun with that dam. There were so many times when there were like 5 or 6 guys over there, and Joe and I are in a building, and I'm like, on 3, we're gonna scare the fuck out of them. And like, yeah, all right, 1, 2, 3, and it's just like, it's shooting like 30 times a second or something ridiculous. Yeah. I see like
you can hear it. His gun sounds different. Everyone else is like, his is like, it's louder and it's auto and it's consistent, and it was cool. But
how many people's days did you ruin throughout the trip, Kyle?
Definitely those in that video that I linked earlier. There's 2 or 3 or 4 there that I shoot at like point blank range, and I feel like those people had some bad days.
How many kids did you make cry?
I don't think anyone cried. Everybody at this event was like a teenager.
Fans,
yeah, they were all teenagers and older. I'd say there weren't too many little guys.
Yeah.
But if I'm feeling better this weekend, I really do feel like shit right now. I got the flu or something. But if I'm feeling better this weekend, I'm gonna take I haven't like cleaned my setup up, or I haven't like put it away yet. So I'm thinking about going and playing some more this weekend and recording some more footage with the remainder of my first strike rounds. I've got so many left.
I was in full-on field commander mode. Like early in the first map, I asked like the refs and stuff, like what's important, what are some lines of sight here, important like rooms to own and stuff. And then I would just gather up like 6-8 guys and say, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this, etc. And then in the second map, I did it again. By the third and fourth map, people are asking like, hey, Woody, what's the game plan on this one? And I'm like, I don't know. Like walking around where you're not supposed to be. Like,
run in front of me.
Supply drops in UAVs.
Dude, I led from the front, and it was totally effective. especially day one. On day one, my KD was like 3, which is good for me. And yeah, I'm normally like a 1.5 KD player, but
it's good for anyone in a big game like that.
Dude, and it's true. Like I really was taking out on average of like 3 per round, and more than that, like map control. Like by the time I'm down, I've got 8 people on your flank. You know, it was super effective on the first day. On the second day, I was like 1.5 KD. I don't know what happened, but it was fun to lead teams everywhere I went. Like, and when at Living Legends, if I tell people what to do, the response is mostly like, "Fuck you, paintball's hurt." But on the PKA trip, when I say like, you know, we're doing this, there's a lot of people just more than willing to join my group, and we make it happen. So it's a good time.
Definitely so.
Yeah, you have that general reputation.
Yeah.
I rallied myself up a little group, and I got like 4 guys to run with me, and another like 8 or 10 to give me covering fire, and then I ran somewhere we weren't supposed to go, and the ref's like, "You gotta go back! You gotta go back!"
Final battle. I know exactly when it happened. Yep. Yeah, it was cool. And then we had that runner. Like in the final battle, this is what happens. They take a couple paintball courses, 2 or 3, and they combine it into one great big one. 2, Kyle says. And so in the middle of it, where they meet, they put like a barrel with a slapstick, which is a PVC thing, and you have to keep it pushed away from you. Anyway, throughout the day, as we're like rushing to stuff, different people would say they were fast. And I'm like, you can go in the front, whatever. And they weren't fast. They were normal. You know, like everyone's kind of same speed when you put the pod pack and the guns and the clothing on and stuff. And this guy, the map before the final battle, was like, "I'll go first. I'm fast." And like everyone else, I'm like, "All right, go ahead." The fucker was fast. He was really fast. As a matter of fact, this weekend he's running the Boston Marathon. He's like a competitive collegiate runner. And he was there with a friend who was also really fast. And like in the small map, I was like, whoa, he's literally fast. Like he's not like all these other people that were
faster than everyone else by
by
long
a mile.
distances.
So in this final battle, we spawned like, I don't know, like 800 yards or something from the push the slapstick, and he's like, "I'll get there, before anyone else, and I'll press it, and then when the teams go, it'll be like competitive." And God, he had hit the stick. And he ran back and met me like halfway, and he's like, "I got it. No one else was there." And then,
so fucking fast. I ran flat out to that thing, and by the time I got there, it was long done. Like,
yeah, he left his gun behind and everything, so he could be extra fast. And then there was his buddy was there. Remember the other quick one? Just hiding behind a tree, not moving, total camo, whatever.
12 feet from the stick,
and you couldn't see him. Like he had like a camo jersey on or something. He's like, "You see my buddy? He's gonna go next." And I'm like, "I don't see him." And he's like, "No, look, he's right there. He's right there by the tree." No. Like by the third time, I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome." He was like 6 feet away. If they did somehow hit the stick, then he would have been right there. These guys were speedy, and it was fun. And it was the PKA group against the open group, people we didn't know, and we dominated them so badly. It was just unkind. So good stuff.
I think in July they're doing a scenario game. It's Call of Duty World at War, and they open up all the fields, and they have one giant team versus another giant team, and so I think that'll be fun. I want to take some part in the scenario part of the game though, instead of like you were saying last night, like it's pretty much in the past at Living Legends, we're kind of just going out and playing team deathmatch and not worried about the objectives. But I'd like it if we were out there with some radios and kind of in a team trying to do stuff, getting, capturing suitcases, objective flags, people, whatever it may be.
Especially in the PKA group, like even if there's only 3 or 4 of us, we can easily rally like a 10-man team that gets stuff done because...
Especially if you break into squads and you each have radios.
We're not talking about... With Living Legends, we have to get strangers to somehow obey my orders. When it's people who watch this show, there's usually a lot of guys enthusiastic to play with us, and we can make a team.
Yeah, get ourselves a little death squad. That'll be fun.
Is World at War kind of like Living Legends, where it's the respawn is you just go back to the base and start again?
Probably, but I just don't know.
Well, go back to the base.
I wonder if that was funny. I think he was going for funny. I don't know what he said.
Lost.
Oh. Shit.
That was funny.
Was I garbled?
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
To Duct Tape Man, Woody has your Minecraft sword. He took it.
Colin might have it now. Dude, it wasn't even like it was in my suitcase, and Colin's like, "You bought me a Minecraft sword, an iron sword," and I'm like, "Yeah."
You bet it, buddy.
So I hope you're okay with the duct tape, man. I can send you $15 or $20, whatever it is, if that makes it right.
He accidentally left it in the back of our rental car. I think we were all supposed to sign it, and we drove away with it instead.
But Colin's super happy.
That's on the bright side. Colin's loving it, so I guess it's kind of a win-win there. Game of Thrones.
I have seen all 4 episodes. I will not spoil anything. Yeah, the reason I watched all 4 is that I exist on the internet, and there are people out there who will just enthusiastically ruin stuff for me. So I felt like I needed to protect myself. I've seen I've seen some of them twice. Go on.
I've made a decision about how I want to intake my Game of Thrones in the future. I think that I like watching the show and then listening to the books afterwards. So I am hereforth suspending my book listening adventure, if you will.
I think I'm going to listen to the book like in parallel with the show because I got this big yard to mow, and I'll listen to the book while I do that. But like you, I just follow along so much better when I have the show as a basic structure. I didn't realize how like multitasky I was when I'm driving or mowing.
They skipped a ton right off the bat there. Didn't you notice? Did you notice that the entire trip of Tyrion on the boat just... They skipped the whole fucking thing.
I assumed there would be a lot there, but I haven't read that part of the book yet. But there's plenty of other stuff they skipped over.
Yeah,
so I have to admit I've never seen a single episode of Games of Thrones, but I have been pestered online by so many people telling me that I have to watch it. But I didn't have time for TV. But now that I do, I've been looking for a show to get into, and I'm wondering if it's worth starting from the beginning right now.
No.
How many seasons? How many seasons is it in?
They're currently 4 episodes into season 5 or 1, depending on if you pirated
10 episodes per season.
Oh, so they're short seasons.
Yeah. Here's the thing: when I heard you hadn't seen Game of Thrones, it was like this guy. I almost envy you. You have a world of entertainment awaiting you.
Yeah, so I have to wait.
No, you don't. You need to get started now.
Well, that's how when I started watching Breaking Bad, it was like season 5. So I got to catch up on 4 seasons. When I started watching Lost, the finale had already aired, so I could just watch the entire thing all the way through. So maybe it's a good thing that I don't watch TV, because when I finally pick up something, I don't have to do that wait a week for another hour sort of thing.
I hear you. Dude, Game of Thrones is
top tier. Very good.
Top tier. Yeah. I mean, it is the most successful TV show in the history of mankind. Bam. That's one of the things that it has going for it. In my personal rankings, there's only 2 others. Like Breaking Bad was really, really good. House of Cards is usually really good, and Game of Thrones. Like after that, everything else is competing for 4th place.
House of Cards is a great show, but like it's in a different league, or rather Game of Thrones is in a different league than it. Like it's so much more epic and intense, and you get drawn into so many more characters. It's bigger. It's just bigger.
I've heard that it's a series, but it's like movie quality.
Like, So is Breaking Bad in Better Call Saul as well. But like it's as if they air 10 1-hour movies per season. Okay. And it is
special effects are quite good.
Is the first couple of seasons on Netflix, or what service is it on?
HBO.
Oh, okay.
Or stream-tv.net.
Or Pirate Bay.
There are many, many routes you can take.
It is the most pirated show in the history of mankind.
And they don't mind.
Really?
Because I don't have any other way to get it. As soon as I do, I'll start paying for it. I think I'm going to get one of those Apple devices and pay for it. I'm happy to pay. I paid for the audiobooks, at least a couple of them anyway. But I'm a huge fan. I've seen every episode 3 times. I've read the books, like the first 3 books, and I'm in the 4th book now. It's it's over 100 hours of book reading that I've went through. Yeah. So,
well, I can't say someone has ever told me, "Oh no, that's a shit show." So,
no, that's
a good sign.
Well, what's a good show that's a shit show, so we can show that we're not just filleting every good show? Kyle, what's a show that... Scrubs. That's a show that sucks tits that everybody likes.
Glee.
It's overrated.
Glee's like overrated both of those. Those kids are really talented.
No, they're not. I've never seen it. I don't know. But
really
Kyle,
good.
you can go on HBO Now. Have you heard of HBO Now? Not HBO Go?
That's the new service, right?
That's the new service where purportedly you'll be able to go on there soon after your trial's up and pay like, I think it's like $14 a month to get HBO, and it's just online, so you can just look it up on your
computer. Seem like a lot?
It is definitely a lot, but I'll pay that for Game of Thrones in HD. And I like. Have you watched Silicon Valley?
Mm-hmm.
That show's pretty
heard
fucking funny. Yeah, it's
think
very good. Then Veep is very good too. I like that show.
Silicon Valley is right there with Scrubs. Like, it's a fine show, but it's not. Like, it's good for a cackle. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was looking for a cackle, so it satisfied that need. But I think it's better than Scrubs. Definitely.
Well,
80% stupid with some laughs in it.
On the Game of Thrones thing, I know everybody says that they do such a great job with the show. The book readers anyway, they're like, oh yeah, they turn it into a show really well. But I just don't think they do anymore. I think they could. They're cutting out so much stuff and so much stuff that I like a lot. And it's a bit frustrating. So
There's only one thing that really frustrated me that they cut out. It was the battle scene with the fat guy.
There's tons of battles
with Strong Belwas.
Yes, that's the guy. That's the guy. Oh.
Yeah. I really wanted to see him like shit in front of the walls and wipe his ass with that guy's shirt or whatever.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that, and then when they didn't do it, I was distraught.
Yeah,
tearing my clothes and weeping.
There's no shitting scene. So I guess I got to wait another month for a new episode. But like you, I felt like I should watch all 4 episodes preemptively. Just not really that I'm afraid of someone like with a gotcha spoiler, because I guess they could read the books and do that to me if they wanted. But more like the memes and stuff that pop up, and I'm pretty good at just like glancing at a meme and like taking something from it. Like, I saw a picture of Robb Stark like sitting on a subway car, and I immediately knew that Robb Stark was dead. Like, that was enough. I could take that away from that meme that, oh shit, is Robb dying in the next episode? And it kind of spoiled the Red Wedding for me. So I watched all 4 episodes. I liked them.
Jayz is right here.
What?
Nothing. Spoilers.
Well, he won't remember the character names.
There's so many
you're right. I'm too busy over here already searching. Like, where the hell can I find these now?
Right.
I'm over here searching everywhere.
Dude,
as soon as this show ends, this PKA show, move on to the best show, which is Game of Thrones. Just start it right off the bat. You'll thank us next time you come on.
I wish I had a memory ray to like zap away Game of Thrones every night and just enjoy it again. I totally
Wouldn't that be nice to be able to do with a lot of TV shows? Like, oh, now I no longer know what happens in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then zap that and watch it.
Yeah, I'd love that. I would be erasing my mind repeatedly watching my favorite shows.
And that's why when shows like Breaking Bad ended, so many people like felt depression afterwards, because they were like, oh my God, there's not going to be any more of this every week, keeping me on the edge of my seat. And they're just sad over like, it's no more. It's like they broke up with a girlfriend,
You can easily feel that. I feel like you feel that times 10 if it's a show that you've picked up through Netflix, so that you're watching. Watch like 5 seasons straight. That's how The Office was for me. Like, I cried. I was so into The Office. I was. It's been several years ago.
You told me you hated that show.
The Office?
You hated Michael Scott.
Oh, I do hate Michael Scott, but I love Pam and Jim. I love Pam and Jim's relationship
you like
together.
The gayest part of the show.
It's my favorite part, man. That Pam and Jim relationship. That's what makes it work for me.
And their constant pranks on Dwight.
Yeah, I like Dwight and all that. That's all. And Michael Scott can be funny at times, but what I really, really enjoy is the whole Pam and Jim saga. That's my favorite part.
I like that the Dwight storyline came out really good. Like, by the end of it, you're rooting for him and you realize how effective he is, and he was a great manager. He got the dream came true. It was cool.
He fired a gun in the office.
He did.
You're being a little judgy
twice?
for a Georgian.
Yeah. I can picture Kyle sitting there, though, with his pint of Cherry Garcia being like, Pam Roy isn't right for you. You need to see it. And scooping it out there.
Oh, that's probably literally happened. Yeah, absolutely. I hated Roy.
Would it make you jealous that I've been to that set?
A little bit, yeah.
An office building in Pennsylvania?
In Scranton? No, it's right in the middle of North Hollywood. It's funny, North Hollywood's not even like it's not Hollywood. It's just on the other side of the hill, and it's actually a dump. And they actually leased out a real office building and leased that building specifically for the show. So it's like carpenter, car repair shop, some fake Scranton sign, and then a cul-de-sac. So it's a real building there. And at the time I was working, the company I was working for, we were doing some work in that building, and I walked in, I was like, this all looks really, really familiar. And I saw like, the maroon like Trans Am out front and everything. I'm like,
Oh wow!
I saw
great.
Scranton Business Park. I'm like, no way. And I walked inside. I'm like, dude, I'm in the freaking set of The Office. This is so
I'd
badass.
have been taking so many selfies with at that place. I'd want to sit at Jim's desk. That'd be great.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. But for it just to be in the middle of like everyone else's business, it's not like a closed sound stage with a guard shack or any of that. It's just a regular old building.
I've been to Scranton. Does that count for anything?
The Electric City.
Does what it counts.
Yeah, I interviewed
something.
for a job there. It was for this .com company. I think they were called AmeriHealth or something close to that. And at the time, they competed with WebMD. I just Googled them. They're sort of a different company now. But they lost, maybe because I didn't work there. I don't know. But yeah, that was their thing. They wanted to be like the online health information lookup category. And one of the things I offered was I had a pretty broad background at the time. Like I had done a lot of programming, a lot of sysadmin. I worked in a lot of different languages, and that fit what they were looking for. And but I ended up working, I think, maybe Cisco, I forget, somewhere else instead. But yeah, I'm good at job interviews. It's my secret skill.
Now I have this constant nagging in the back of my head, like, watch Game of Thrones.
I'm telling you, it really
I
is
hate
good.
that. I hate when I get that, though, because then I'll obsess.
I can't
here's the
wait for you to
greatest-
zip through season 1. It's incredible.
The greatest thing about Game of Thrones is this. All right, so it's got a huge scope, a big scale. In the intro, when it's coming on, it's playing the music everyone loves, and they kind of do this animated thing where they're going across the map of Westeros, the mythical kingdom in which this whole thing takes place. And if you start paying attention to that, since I've seen every episode so many times, you get a real view of how big this whole world that this show takes place in is. So they'll go from character to character across the world, and hundreds of miles away from each other in like the times of like horses and ships with sails on them, and all that's nice. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings a bit. It's got that feel to it.
I think it's called an epic. Like they build an entire world, and there's like, I'm going to make up a number, 15 main characters. That's a lot of main characters, and you're following all their storylines and I'm sorry, Kyle, go on.
Well, the best thing about it is that no one is safe. Like, no one is safe in this show. Typically, like let's just use The Office as an example. Jim's in there for good. Jim and Pam are like parts of the show. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
They'll
right.
Kill Jim off. They'll kill Jim off. No fucking problem. They'll cut Jim's head off and make Pam watch.
Even when Jim like goes to some other office, he's still a part of it. He's coming back. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
You just don't know.
Jim's not safe.
Jim's not safe. They will rape Michael. Jim watches. Like they don't give a fuck. They will do the worst things you can imagine. They will.
Yeah.
Anybody that you love.
He'll be like,
no
this
one is
whole
safe.
show revolves around Jim. Obviously, he's a protected class. Captain Kirk doesn't die.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Kirk. You're
They
done.
do it all the time. All the time.
Is every episode a cliffhanger?
No.
No.
Or,
No,
okay, so some episodes come to conclusion.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's a thing they do a lot. There's a payoff.
Okay.
Like you'll be waiting and you're like, oh, there's gonna be a big fight. Like this.
Because I don't want to have like
gonna
heart
fight.
palpitations constantly at the end of every episode.
No, they'll give you your payoff that you feel like you've paid your money for.
They
So like,
answer
there'll
your
be
question.
like one champion versus another champion, and you hear that like, oh, they're gonna face off. One of them's gonna die. Like if typically in a show like that,
Yeah.
or like in movies, like
There's no yelling uncle in a sword fight.
yeah, there'll be some kind of a cheat, right? Where the king is like, stop! I named you champion, good sir. And
One
Sir
of the
Robert,
champions'
you may
best
live
friend
to fight another day.
comes zooming by on a horse, and they hop on and rescue him at the last second. They're hanging from a noose, and somebody shoots it with an arrow, and they get not in Game of Thrones.
No. Heads roll.
Yeah,
That's
they're burning that person at the stake. Wow, they're just going to keep on burning. The flames coming slowly. Is this really going to happen?
Yep.
And that sounds to me like it'd be very true to form, though, for the time period.
I tried to like narrow down the time period, and I just finally accept it's not Earth, right? It's a very
It's
Earth-like
not.
fantasy land. There's some tech that seems out of place. There's some magic, but the magic is like almost semi-believable. Some people don't believe in the magic, but it clearly seems to be there.
Right.
There's seasons. I've read long Reddit posts and comments where people go back and forth and try to explain why the seasons are as they are in the land of Game of Thrones.
They last like 10 years.
Sometimes the winter might last for like 50 years, and the snows pile hundreds of feet tall, and the cold winds come at the night, and children are born and die without ever seeing the sun.
Right.
But sometimes the winters only last like 3 years, and it's no big deal. You never know. And
there's like 8-year-olds who've never seen winter because there's been a summer. This isn't a spoiler, but in the first like episode of the show, you learn like, oh, this 8-year-old's never seen anything but summer. He's a child of summer, and that's his entire experience. You know, he doesn't know what hardship is like.
And it's a really old world. Like their history goes back thousands of years. Like they can count they're like, oh yeah, you're the 998th like commander of this thing, or you're the 300th king, or they there's a lot of history, and
so it's a very creative writer staff.
It's very good. It's R.R. Martin.
J.R.R. Martin is the author. It's from books, and
Gotcha.
but it's scary. So the guy, is he 67?
He's fat.
Up there.
He's 67
old
and he's not
morbidly
healthy.
obese.
We're
No.
very worried about him. If I could give him a little bit of my life force, I would, so he'd get those books cranking out. But
If
I
you
don't know
could take
he's gonna-
20 pounds off him, would you? If you could just
and
grab
take
20.
it for my own.
Yeah, take it for your own on your body and then work it off. All for the sake of the realm.
If he would like get me like an advanced copy, totally. Like I could burn 50 pounds off in a month.
Yeah,
like,
right. I feel
There's
like
totally
that's-
strings attached to that.
Like, just
I wish you could do that as a service. Like I give you
take someone's fat.
I give you like 20 grand and 20 pounds and just be like, Kyle, solve this. And you'd be like, okay. And then 2 months later, you burned it. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Now we're both thin.
I totally could do that. Yeah, like it. Like I guess you could sign some sort of waiver, and I could put you in some sort of scenario where I hunt you, for a week.
No,
or
that's not what I'm imagining at all. No. I
Oh,
want
come
to
on,
mystically give you 20 pounds.
That's what the whole Wings of Redemption boot camp should have been. It should have been like the deadliest game. It should be like, well, Wings, I know we promised you a month full of weight loss, dieting tips, and fundraising, but in fact, run.
It's like that Sunny
While
episode
you're
where they're
running,
gonna
I'm
hunt
throw
people.
knives at you.
You don't hunt a man.
It's like, Kyle, I don't know. I don't want to run. I'm not interested in that. No, Kyle, stop it.
Get the paintball gun out. Start hunting him with it. Yeah, it'd be great. Get the pepper balls, maybe, or maybe one of those stun. I've got all kinds of less than lethal gear over here that you can hunt a man with and make it interesting. I'm getting a net gun. My net
Of
gun's
course
coming.
you are.
Yeah.
A neck gun? N-E-C-K?
A net gun.
Oh,
it
a
shoots
net
net.
gun. Yeah.
Grappling hook gun.
As you
kinda-
do.
Yeah.
Catch cartoons and
I want the soda
other.
gun.
Yeah.
soda
That's
gun.
it's all the same thing. That soda
It
gun
shoots
does all those
cans
things.
of soda out of an AR-15.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
What?
Yeah, it's awesome. I've seen it on YouTube. It's very cool.
Like full cans of soda?
Yeah, you would want them to be full for the that's like what they're weighted for and stuff. It shoots full cans of soda 200 yards. I'm making that up. Does that sound right?
Yeah, sure.
Something like that. And
Kill man.
it's
You
just
hit
like thump, and it goes flying. It's pretty
Put a-
neat.
Beer me.
Right-sized hole in someone. Yeah.
That's what I think would be funny in a video if I was just like, beer me, and like some guy 200 yards away shoots it and then just catch it really.
With a
yeah,
baseball
then
glove,
it
maybe.
tears all your fingers off and it's
Head
tragic.
backwards.
They don't break. I think Jay is looking for Game of Thrones right now. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I may or may not be downloading it right now.
We're going to lose him on this show because we told him about Game of Thrones too
Go
early.
over here watching it.
So do you have a rack-mounted system too, Jay?
What, in my house?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any server racks here because I just don't have any room for it. We rent this house and we're saving right now to buy in a couple of years. So I'm gonna make sure that the house that I buy actually has like a central server room. That's gonna be like a must for me. But yeah, everything here is just kind of like podunk together.
So you're in California, somewhere near Hollywood?
I'm 60 miles east of LA.
Gotcha. Yeah, so insanely expensive real estate.
It's stupid. When I buy, I'm pretty convinced it won't be in California.
But what's your internet speed right now?
300 by 20.
That's nice. That's really good.
I wish we had more up, but fiber isn't available right where I live. It's available, a quarter block down the road, but I live in like a patch of the county where there's no underground conduit here. And so they can't run the fiber lines here. So they're working on pole-mounted fiber that's shielded from the sun. But by the time that ever makes its way here, I don't want to be here. So
you can get anything you want. It just takes stupid amounts of money.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll run it for you. Get a quote. Yep. What was I going to say? Oh, Google Fiber's coming to my new house. That should be neat.
It's going to be a gigabit, isn't it?
Each way.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, but I don't know when. I mean, it seems like there's two extremes. There's Kansas City, where every week there's like some new suburb rolling it out. People are doing Reddit posts. They can't even get upvoted anymore because Google Fiber is so common there. And then there's like the Austin route, where like they don't seem to actually be doing it. They're just talking about it. It's not going anywhere. They announced Raleigh in like December, maybe something like that. And as far as I know, the first house doesn't have it yet, and it's mid-April. So
is Kansas City like the place to be for it as of now? Like, I didn't even know that.
Yes, yeah, Kansas City, Missouri, I think, but I'm not sure. And yeah, but they just, I mean, not only do they have it, but it seems like there's a new suburb and stuff rolling it out all the time. They're just going at full speed there, and everywhere else, it's hardly happening. So
I'm cool with that.
I'm not. I'm one of those everywhere else's. Yeah. I'd totally love to have Google Fiber.
Yeah, I think the reality is, I mean, I've always lived in the city, and so has my wife. So we kind of want to get out to someplace more in the country. And of course, that means I'm going to be more further isolating myself from these wonderful technologies.
Yeah, I can't speak for California, but that's definitely how the case works here. Over here, you know, if you live in the middle of like what they call medium density housing, which is pretty much any like subdivision, then you get decent internet speed. But if you go out to the farms, it can get really slow.
I live in what's considered the second smallest city in this area. You know, all the cities here touch. Not like there's a gap in between the cities, but the city boundaries of which I live in is one of the smallest, second smallest in the area, and it's 122,000 population. I mean, in the immediate area of where I live, there's, I think, 4 million people. So it's a little crowded.
A little bit crowded. Yeah, I get that.
That sounds kind of awful.
Yeah, I mean,
it depends what you want, I guess.
Well, but the flip side is the exact spot I live in. I'm an hour from snowboarding. I'm an hour from the beach. An hour from the desert. So pick your sport. You want to go snowboarding or skiing, you're an hour away. You know, enjoy the beach or LA, an hour away. The desert, you know, you want to go shooting or you want to go ride some quads or something. Yeah, the thing that sucks is I'm also a gun enthusiast, and where I live, I can't shoot here. I've got to drive an hour and a half before I can even shoot. So that's kind of the other thing is I come from a military family, and we like to shoot our guns, and I can't here. So that's another factor.
Isn't it pretty difficult just to get guns in California? I don't know.
Yeah, the California gun restrictions are a little stupid. Bullet buttons are, you know, kind of a pain in the ass. 10-round mags. So.
What's a bullet button? I've never heard of that.
You can't. You know, like an AR. You know, you push the mag release.
Right.
It's actually a hard piece of metal that won't allow the mag to release unless you take the tip of a button and push it in. It's like recessed. So that way you can't do a quick reload. You have to use something pointy to push out the mag.
Oh, Jesus!
Really?
Fascism.
I've not heard of a bullet button.
Yeah, if you haven't seen,
that's because you're not a faggot. There's no reason for you to hear about it. We got real shit around here. I hate that shit so much with a passion. I hate it. I refuse to own anything like that. I hate it so much. I want 1,000 rounds in there. I want a belt of rounds. Just a backpack. I want that backpack to be supplied by a crate. Like,
I need a harness where I can pull my pallet and drag it along the ground.
Where we go shooting in the desert, usually there's no rangers or anything that come out there and bother anybody. But if let's say the sheriff did come up and was doing compliance checks, if you're caught with a standard mag release on an AR here in California, it's a felony. If you have a mag with more than a 10-round, it's a felony unless you're grandfathered into the mag rebuild kit. Which, if you have something like Magpul, then if somebody knows their shit, they'll know that that's a dummy together mag, and you'll still be a felony because Magpul isn't old enough to have been grandfathered. So it's just the laws out here are so stupid. It's like so anti-Second Amendment.
Damn liberals.
Yes.
On the other hand,
Thanks, Obama.
my machine gun will be here next week. I ordered some 100 rounds.
Yeah.
What kind of machine gun are you getting?
Kyle, I'm unsubbing right now.
The MK47. That thing I made the video with the other week. The half AK, half AR thing.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah.
Getting a couple of those.
You know, it's fun. It's your reaction though. What didn't surprise me when you're like, "What's a bullet button?" Because so many people. Because I did a video on my AR, and you could tell who's from a southern state and who's from a western state and who's from a Midwest state, because pretty much anyone out in California was like, "Yeah, fuck the bullet button," and half the rest of the country is like, "What the fuck's a bullet button?" And because I demonstrated it on the video, and they were like, "That is the stupidest thing that they've ever seen." And then all my magazines are riveted from the factory. So there's a rivet.
You have to just put like a little screwdriver in there or something to just hit this
pretty
button?
Much, or the tip of a bullet. That's why they call it a bullet button. Like a 5.56 NATO fits in there perfectly. So yeah, so it takes things that I love, and it's like, okay, well, California, in the eyes of California, I am a terrible, evil felon, bound to happen.
Bunch of silly stuff. It's no fun.
My cousin lives in North Carolina, and he's just like, oh yeah, I go out in the backyard and start shooting with my, he'll start shooting drum mags on a shotgun, and it's like, man, I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
I gotta drive an hour and a half to go play with my bullet button and my 10-round AR mags. It's like, this is tough.
Where in California do you live?
I'm 60 miles from LA.
Okay. It's not too bad.
I'm inland, so I can just head right up the 15 to the desert out in Barstow. But still, I shouldn't have to do that. I want to just, oh look, there's the forest. Let's go shooting. But if you're shooting here in Bureau of Land Management, it's also a felony because all of the fire dangers right now, everything is red flagged. So they've red flagged every single shooting range.
So you can't play with your dragon's breath?
Well, I could if I wanted to start quite the news feed. But yeah, I mean. Because, see, here's the thing. That was another thing the government out here, the liberals out here were able to do, was to be like, oh, fire dangers. Okay, perfect. Shooting is not good right now, so nobody shoots. So they've been under red flag for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
It's been red flag for 4 years. You can't shoot anywhere except for on private land. So up in Barstow, there's something like 150 acres of privately owned land that the owner, like back in the 50s, was like, fuck, shoot, I don't care. And it was put into the estate. So everyone just goes up there and shoots.
Oh, that's cool.
I have a whole new topic.
Let's hear it.
This is a website. It's called The Tweet Hereafter.
Oh.
Yeah, I showed it to Kyle once before. This is the last tweet that people make before they die. So everyone who's made this thing has died right after this tweet. Like if you scroll down a bit here. Look at the thing. Like Ryan Knight there, third from the bottom, his last tweet was, used to mean a lot. And then it's just over. Like a bunch of these are kind of like suicide messages. A bunch of them are not suicide messages.
It's about to be an eventful night, to say the least.
Right? It's about to be an eventful night, to say the least. And then...
You notice the died time, it has no time. It's just a day. Interesting.
Yeah. Harris Whittles, just a reminder, my email is harriswhittles@gmail.com. Thanks.
Not anymore.
Like this
Not
Greg
anymore.
Plitt guy, right? For the past 4 months, I've been working on a new back-end pages to the website. Check it out. Let me know what you think. That seems like wasted time at this point.
Yeah.
Like, and then he died. He finished the back-end pages, asked for some feedback, and now he's gone.
This guy said, do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do.
Let's see what the last thing I tweeted was.
Bad advice, apparently.
I tweeted that I'm going to be on PKA. I tweeted that I'm going to be on PKA.
Oh, shit. It even says how they died. I see.
Where does it say how they died?
Gunshot, suicide, heart attack, lung infection.
Where are you? I don't see this.
Oh, it's just on the bottom.
Bottom left of every
to
tweet.
the left of bio.
Oh, I see. Mine mostly say unknown. Yeah, the Greg Plitt vehicle accident.
This guy said weight loss today was looking good until Cameron wanted to stop for a snack on our cycle. Sorry. And it's a picture of the snack. Died in a vehicle accident.
Ooh, maybe right after that. Maybe they still found the quarter pounder strewn about.
why live healthy if you're trying to live a healthy life and then a car just comes out of nowhere?
Check out it won't last. It'll never last. Gunshot.
Yeah, jeez. I'm depressed now.
This one's even better. Don't ask me how I'm doing, bitch. I'm great. Gunshot.
Jeez.
The next day.
What a sad website.
No. Gunshot 3 hours later.
Dude, this one, it's a suicide. Adios, folks. Suicide note is here. Good luck, y'all. You want to hear the suicide note?
Yes. And that's by Kate Von Roeder.
Too long didn't read. Goodbye, I'm killing myself. Long form. Hey folks, this is a post that's a long time coming. 19 years of depression, give or take. It's been a long and brutal and full of a lot of tears and angst, and it's finally coming to a close. 10 days ago, I purchased a shotgun, and today, after the required California waiting period, I picked up that shotgun. A few of you have seen me offer countdowns and references to October 1st at around noon. That was my nod to this outcome. I'll be honest, I don't know what to say here. I've turned over the words in my head for a little over a week now, and I'm still not sure how to find that balance between too long didn't read and here's why I put a double-aught buckshot shell into the roof of my mouth.
Wow.
Initially, my plan was to detail about my pains, waxing laborious about my struggles with transition. I shouldn't have done it, not because I'm not trans, but because I didn't have a fraction of the personal strength to succeed at it. Only some of the most amazing trans people I've been privileged to know, unlike some of the most amazing trans. My physical struggles, heat sensitivity, and more recently hair loss are my mental pain. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. But paragraph after paragraph of whining seemed like a poor way to go out. Most of you have had enough to deal with my bullshit. Instead, I'll say this. I'm scared as shit, but I think it's going to get better. I don't know what comes next, and that's intimidating. But I've always believed in, well, something. And even if that belief is wrong, there's nothing but blackness waiting for me. It beats the living day to day trapped in my own misery. It beats being exhausted all the time. I'm scared, but I'm excited. There's tears, but under this, there's a giddiness, a spring in my step that I've never had before. All the hurt and pain and constant need to compare myself to all the normal people I meet, that's all done. And that's very cool. I want to tie this off with an apology to those of you who I've inflicted myself on over the years. Whether it's reading the shit I spew onto Twitter or suffering my vortex of negativity as a colleague, I've been an albatross around the neck of a lot of people I respect and enjoy. To those who tried to befriend me and whose friendships I abandoned to allow to wither and die, I'm also sorry. I wish I knew how to be a friend. I just wasn't wired that way. For these sins and more, I'm sorry. I'm just not a good person. In any case, I want to thank all you wonderful folks I've known over the years. Maybe I'll see you on the other side. Maybe not. Either way, all the best and good luck. Kate.
Kate is very well spoken.
Not anymore.
Was.
Yeah. That's deep.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. You've just ruined Game of Thrones for me now.
I told you that
These
was
are
going to be depressing.
Incredibly
Woody has
depressing.
wanted that topic
going
for
through
weeks, and I keep
pages of
saying,
these.
"Man, it's so depressing though, because they're dead now." But
Dude,
this is gonna make me think about every tweet I ever tweet.
this could be the last one.
It's
Yeah.
I guess it's depressing, but like
Well, especially these ones that's not like a pre-planned out, like, heartfelt quote or something that's like, this is going to really make him think. Like, the worst ones is like George Donaldson. Harry Potter night tonight again with Sarah. There's nothing like it. The movies are okay. And then it's heart attack.
Yeah.
So it's like, this was just some dude who was tweeting out, I'm having another Harry Potter night with Sarah, whoever the fuck that is, just another day. Like, those ones are almost more disturbing, or are more disturbing, I think, than the ones where they're like planning it out and then send their dramatic last tweet and then kill themselves.
Yeah, I agree. It sort of reminds you of your own life's fragility. Like, tonight could have been Harry Potter night for me, and then heart disease. Like,
It could have.
Nowhere, right?
sleep one little sleep. Take comfort in the night's embrace, 'cause in the morning the sun will open up your eyes and you'll see the world is fucked up. Dead.
Shit.
This guy, New York, big city dreams, but everything in New York ain't always what it seems. Overdose.
I must be somewhat macabre because I find this so deep and like I don't know, it's meaningful. It's not pleasant.
It's not, but it's not often you get to look into like kind of maybe not necessarily final moments, considering some of these have days that go by, but like final, at least public thoughts on one social sphere. You know, you could tell the ones that are tragic versus the ones that are clearly depressed.
Oh, there's Paul Walker's
just going about their lives.
Yeah.
Can you believe how much money? Can we talk about that? How much money Fast and the Furious 7 is making?
Sure.
I haven't seen it, but how?
Holy shit!
Like,
Let me
those
get the
movies are
latest
known
numbers.
to
It's
be
going to be
kinda
over
shitty,
$1 billion.
right?
Wow. It's going to be like the Titanic numbers.
Paul Walker must be psyched.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
Woody
Dude, he's rich.
would be.
All right, let's see here. Fast and Furious 7.
See, look at this. Corey Monteith. Oh, it's a shark tornado. And then overdose. That was the last thing
He was
tweeted.
already high when he made that tweet.
Absolutely. He was halfway into the grave at that point. But he made that tweet.
Yeah, it's
And
setting
then-
records in every country it's released in.
Wow.
It's making
Oh,
tons of money in China, making tons of money in India.
Go ahead, Jay. What are
Oh.
you going to say?
Well, this guy, in besieged Libyan city of Misrata, indiscriminate shelling by Gaddafi forces, no sign of NATO, died, war.
Kaboom.
Yeah, this is a downer. Shouldn't have come here.
I maybe I appreciate it down.
In other news, season 1 is downloaded.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
Now you went HD, right? I mean, you've got
Yeah.
300 megabits down. You're not going to waste your time with, you know.
Oh yeah,
480p.
I got all of HD in, I don't know, 15 minutes or so.
Well, all I will say is that it's definitely one of those shows where you got to be like fully into it. Like it can't be on in the background because
Oh, I
First
can't do
of all-
that anyway.
Well,
good.
you're in luck. Yeah.
there are a lot of characters. There are lots of different names, and you'll have it down as long as you pay attention. But if you don't, like, it can be really confusing and hard to like think back on the show. Like, yeah. The Lannisters. Who are the Lannisters?
I'm particularly fond of that bearded guy.
Yeah, the white guy with the beard. I like him too. The gray hair. He
like
wears the
kind of
armor
older.
sometimes.
Speaks
Does he
like
carry a
regally.
sword? He mostly carries a sword.
Sell me?
Yeah.
My wife is one of those people who, I don't know how she does it, but she can sit there like kind of just messing around on her phone while the TV show's on. And I'll quiz her. I'll walk in and be like, hey, what's happening right now? And she'll be like, la 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 la. She'll just rattle off like what's happening. I'm like, how the fuck can you do that? If I'm not looking at the TV, like focusing, I don't catch what's going on.
She can't do that to Game of Thrones. I promise you. This shit
No.
is hard. It's like a math. It's like a history test. It really is. Like
I
after
can't-
every episode, you're like, wait a minute, Baratheon? Ah, the storm? Ah, fuck! I gotta watch again. I'm gonna fail the test tomorrow.
It is tough.
I'll have to watch it with her because she really likes like the fantasy stuff.
I was.
Then
I
she
was,
would love it.
I was
Yeah.
talking to someone yesterday who had seen every episode twice, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that scene where you can see who's actually doing the poisoning," and they were like, "What? You can see it?" I was like, "Yeah. You just." I watched every episode 3 times, so I actually saw it when she did the poisoning, and it was like, "Oh fuck, I can watch again." It's that in depth. It's hard to pick everything up on your first combing through.
It's
But I love it.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. You're going to like this. It's a first class show.
Yeah.
Good, because I've really just had no desire to watch TV because there hadn't been anything on that I.
And
that I
the first season has tons of nudity. By far, the most nudity in the first season.
perfect.
Yeah,
I'll wait till bedtime for the daughters, but hey.
Yeah.
it's not a child friendly show. Definitely not.
It's
Oh,
funny.
damn.
I've said this
It
joke
is
a
if
lot.
you want to have cool kids.
But it actually, I said this joke a lot, but it comes from my mom, who, you know, at the beginning when they're like violence, adult situations, nudity, sexual content.
Yeah.
My mom will be like, "Hey, all my favorites."
Yeah.
Like this,
It's gonna be a good show.
yeah, it's the top of the line right here.
Did you guys see where that ESPN reporter, that lady, was talking shit to the lady at the tow yard, like really talking down to her?
Yes,
No.
I did
what
see
happened?
that.
Maybe we should watch that video. It's pretty funny.
Can you get the link?
Yeah, it'll only less than 10 seconds.
So give me the cliff notes on the backstory.
So there's a really pretty ESPN reporter, and they don't explain the whole backstory, but she's, I guess, paying a toll or perhaps a parking lot fee or something like that. It almost seems like the Better Call Saul situation. And for whatever reason, she's not happy with the fact that she has to pay this bill, and she just completely berates the person who's there to collect her money. And you'll find it to be really one-sided.
I'm working on finding it.
Oh, wait. I found it.
I'm queued up at 0.
All right.
I am working on it.
It's 59 seconds long, right?
108.
Oh, I clicked the wrong one then. Oh, there's 2 different links.
I put it in the Skype.
You did, but I was on a different one.
Okay.
I'm now on yours.
Hey, who's... Oh, shit. I was like, who started without us? I did. My mistake.
I am ready whenever. She is very cute.
Yes. Are you guys
Apparently
ready?
she's a bitch.
Ready? You won't like her at the end. Ready, set, play.
ESPN Reporter.
Has a tantrum with a parking lot clerk. Makes fun of female education.
I'm
Wait.
in the news, sweetheart. I will sue this place.
Okay, that's fine, and I'll play your video, so careful. I'll play the video.
That's why I have a degree.
It should have stopped right there.
Yeah, when she looked up.
Makes my skin crawl even being here.
Where is she?
Yep, that's
She's at the tow yard.
She's taking people's money
Oh, how can you tell?
with no education.
Just seems like the scenario.
No skill set.
Wait, she's in a tow yard or a parking garage or?
A lot clerk.
It looks like she's trying to get her car back.
So I could
Yeah, it looks
just
like she got
drop out
towed.
and do the same thing. Why could have a brain and you don't?
Ooh, her little smarmy smile.
Yeah,
North
right?
Face jacket
That's
is
when
kinda
you-
nice.
Because
That's
I
when
have
you-
a brain and you don't. Yeah, because that's why you got the job at ESPN.
Maybe if I was
right?
missing some
Do you
teeth,
think
that's what
why?
hired me, huh?
Oh, like yours? But they look so stunning. Because I'm on television and you're in a fucking trailer, honey. Lose some weight, baby girl.
Oh,
Wow.
such a bitch. I
When
wonder
did
how
this go down?
That is someone who has never been told off and been given the benefit of the doubt in every situation in their entire lives.
She's really
How
pretty.
else could you get through life and act like that to people?
So
Like
she's
that's
on
not even a
ESPN.
bad. That's not even a bad day kind of rude. That's just
Wow.
like an I'm entitled. I'm better than you, and I know I'm better. And everyone else watching this will take my side because I'm hot and they want to fuck me. Like that. Oh,
And she even warned
Poor
her too.
lady.
She was like, "This is being recorded." And she looks up, and that's where the one without the brain is clearly obvious.
Yeah, that should have
Yeah.
stopped right then and there. She's like, oh,
It
yeah, I
should
better
have.
not be a bitch.
but
Right.
see, that's the level of entitlement. Is
No,
that
no,
she's
Kyle,
so
she was
spoiled
holding
and
back.
Have you guys ever
Yeah.
been bad in public, kind of? Like, I've got a dumb
Never
story.
anything even a tenth like that.
Not like that, but so
Oh, I cursed out that lady at McDonald's. Does that count?
this is like 3 weeks ago. I was fussing at my wife. I don't remember the topic, but I think it was something related to the home renovation stress or whatever. And as we're going to eat, I don't hold the door for her, but it was kind of an asshole move. Like I sort of like let it shut towards her because I was mad. And then the guy working there was a fan. He's like, "Are you Woody's Gamertag?" It's like, "Fuck!" He saw that, and I felt like a douche, acting
Yeah,
like
and
a
that's
douche.
my cunt wife. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hold the door for her. I was a dick. But
Well, that's not at all like this. So, yeah, that's what a
Oh,
piece
hey.
of shit. That's so mean to that lady for no reason.
I'm sorry. I just felt the need to share this. Don't share it with the audience, but I saw this on Reddit. It was called Best Transition Ever.
oh, I'm so glad I'm not sharing that. I've seen it twice now.
Just let that loop.
What's funny is the first time through, I was like, "Wait, what's the transition?" And the second time, I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, got it."
Yeah, I'm on like my 9th time through. I totally get it now.
When I'm with Kyle,
I gotta let that
it's-
sink in a little more.
yeah, when I'm with Kyle and he links things like that, it's always pleasant to just see that there's nothing completely gross and awful in them. Just like nobody getting shit on, nobody getting spit on, nobody being gored to death by a fucking bull. And so
Dude.
it's a nice change of pace.
Just being on his list to text message
It's ridiculous,
It could
isn't
be
it?
anything. It could be anything. It could like today. It was like a stack of 12 helicopters or something. Like what are they called?
Parrot drones.
Parrot drones, right? He's got a dozen drones stacked. How many were there really? Am I exaggerating?
I think there's 10, but that's not all of them. There's a bunch coming. Because I know I'm getting some like the AR drones, I think, and I'm getting some of everything they make, I think.
You get a lot of good pictures being in Kyle's group texts.
6. Yeah. Oh, there were 10, and then 2 more. I think I'm just gonna cover the top, even though I don't think anything sensitive is there. But this is the picture he sent today. Shit! I covered the picture. There we go. He just said like, "Hey, this came in." And there's like 10 drones and 2 headsets, and sometimes there's sets. We get early access to the FPS Russia videos, like interesting stuff that he can't upload, which is the best stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, the best.
Oh, like. Fuck, I wish I could show it. I'd show it on
If you're
PKA.
a girl who fancies Kyle, tweet him a picture. Definitely do that. Definitely send him nude pictures so I can see.
That's just not true.
Yeah, that would never happen.
That would never happen.
You gotta
No.
stop the inflow.
Yeah, it's just not even true. I may have done that before.
A lot of my friends and family that are local to me are all like computer geeks too. So of course they every time a text comes in, they're like, "Oh God, what are you showing off now?" So yeah, I can empathize entirely with what you're going through.
Yeah, it's just the nature of what I've usually got going on. I end up with some bizarre pictures, like the one with the chipmunk the other day sitting on the toilet was funny. Shit like that. I like costumes. I feel like costumes make everything better. So I've just got lots of costumes at my house. Like I'm always like, if you want me to be like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, give me 5 minutes. Like I'm ready. So I think we're gonna do that a little bit coming up. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the drones yet, but I wish I could dress up like King Kong and like have them like swarming me and then start shooting them with like fully auto pistols or something. But I'm still working on that idea.
Kyle is really good at video ideas.
Safer.
Kyle is extraordinarily, like, he's got so many he can just throw them away. It's no big deal.
He's good to have around at parties.
Good to have around YouTube. Yeah. He'll just be like, "This is what I'd do if I were you," and you're like, "That's totally better than I would have done."
I'm looking forward to when we put your swimming pool in. I want to be part of that process.
Oh, yeah, well, the same time as the fence, probably.
Oh God! Why? I'm not doing that fencing. Hey, get that fan. That fan seemed ready, willing, and able to come.
Dude, everyone was looking at your muscles last weekend, right? Now you're all buff and everything. You're like built for fence planting.
No, not even.
Show them off. Show us what you got.
I got my poncho on.
For now.
I
That's his I'm sick poncho.
Just, I don't know. It's
Kyle is more buff than ever before. Here we go.
Is.
I get this.
See, he feigns the humility, but he indulges you in the end. Because he wants people to see.
Hey, go ahead. Put it up there. Look at that shit. He's got fence building muscles. Grr.
I've got paintball scars, though. That's the...
Oh yeah, you got to get moving to flush away the old blood. That like the fencing will fix that.
Is that how it works?
You got to get moving to flush away the old witchcraft Woody over here with his ridiculous 15th century schemes. Put a couple bleaches on it.
I'm so sick. I'm so sick. I immediately broke into like a cold sweat when I took that thing off.
Oh, so do you want it back on now, or you think you'd keep it off?
Like back on. I feel awful.
Shivering.
Interesting, because if I broke into a cold sweat, I'd wear less. But that's
Does he
just
wear
me.
shirts that he doesn't make himself?
What do you
Like
mean?
at all? Like FPS Russia shirts. That's all I ever see him in for the most part.
We both had Game of Thrones shirts on for the season premiere. Like it wasn't planned out or anything. We were just rocking the Game of Thrones.
And you guys watched it together?
It didn't work out. We blame Chiz.
Yeah, we couldn't get the tech situation set up so we could watch.
Days in advance, he's like, "I've got an HDMI cable. We can feed it into the TV. It'll be set." And then on game day, he's like, "Well, it doesn't carry the audio." Fuck.
Has he finished his train Odyssey home yet?
He has. He's home now. Yep.
That Train Odyssey is ridiculous. Having his own room though kind of made it fun. I think that would have made it better. I think if it had Wi-Fi, I'd be sold.
That's the thing. Well, it's mixed because I think part of the reason that he enjoyed the train ride so much was it was a little forced time off. You know, it was like I don't know, the peace and solitude that you don't get when you have the internet.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
I can see that, actually. Like, if you're on a train, it's like a road trip, but you don't have to be concerned with the actual driving. You can sit in your car, bring a bunch of DVDs or a book, a few beers, have some fun.
Come prepared with
that.
entertainment and
you get to hang out with train folk.
Which apparently are cool.
Folk. Very interesting subsection of humanity. Train folk. Especially in 2015.
He was saying that train folk were successful, that these were people who, you know, did well in life and they were interesting to talk to and you could learn from.
Oil barons, steel men.
Cruise folk are the coolest. I was trying to tell him. Like, so we go on these, I haven't done one in over a year, I think, but we went on these long cruises. Like the most recent one went from California to Hawaii to Mexico to California, right? We did another one that went like around the Mediterranean, then to Florida, like across the Atlantic Ocean. And everyone on that cruise, like, did something in life to enable them to take like a 3-week cruise. Like, it's both expensive and time consuming. And I would just sit there and talk to like the water filter king of West Virginia and you know, learn about his business and what made him tick. Or some other guy, this Australian, who's like, you got to get passive income, as if it's that easy. You know, I own all these shopping malls and grocery stores and stuff. He's like, I don't work at all. I just make a lot of money. Do that. Oh, okay. You know, it sounds like a plan. And, you know, of course, there's Dick, the telephone book guy who I've talked about in some of my videos before. It like cruise folk, not the week-long like loops around Florida have all sorts of people, but the long cruises, the 3-week long ones, it's like an investment seminar and a life coaching session and stuff. And I'm just sitting there in the hot tub, which sounds really gay, but like, you know, talking to strangers about how the hell they got into a hot tub in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And it's cool. It's inspiring.
My wife and I went on a cruise a couple years back. It was one of the 1-week Mexican cruises, and you're right. Like you meet some really interesting people on those, especially at dinner time. You know, because you sit next to the same people every time. Some of these people, you're like, okay, you're cool, and sometimes you're like, you're kind of weird. You know, you're weird. And no, I want to go back on another cruise, but of course we went on our cruise, and as soon as we get back is when all that shit with Carnival started happening. So then it was like
sickness stuff.
Yeah, the sickness stuff, the 2 of the boats catching fire and having no power, and they were like being towed back, and it took like 8 days with no power, no water. You know,
it sounds terrible.
Yeah, from the stories of people who came off those boats, they said it's just the whole boat smelled like shit. And
that's the thing, like no water. You know, they've got tons of water and stuff, you know, that you can drink, but the toilets aren't flushing.
Right.
That's not
so the whole boat
shit overboard.
I would imagine you could.
On the ships
everybody
I've been on,
en masse,
it's really
there's
dangerous.
The 2 p.m. shift.
I just feel bad for the people on the lower decks trying to hang
You're
their
on the
ass
second
off.
floor. You're screwed.
Well, that's a simple.
I think everyone would find their own way. I'd just be like, well, I've been shitting into the pool filter for a week. No one noticed.
The one where we went from California to Hawaii and Mexico and stuff, the Pacific Ocean is rough. You know the old like World War II movies like Victory at Sea, where these giant ships go? That's what it was like. Like of course I get seasick, but I drove myself out of the bed just to feel like 50-mile-an-hour ocean wind, and the spray hits you even though you're like 5 decks above sea level. And you know the hurricane thing where like you lean super far forward like into the wind. Like I'm doing that on the deck of a ship in the water. It was a neat experience. Like,
have you been on a lot of cruises?
No, maybe like 10.
Okay, so like
that seems like a lot.
I don't know.
So you know that the best rooms are in the midship.
Yeah. That's all we do.
The engines and my first cruise, I was like, oh wow, this room is great rate. What could possibly be wrong with it? It wasn't until the next morning when we were making dock when I realized we were like 14 feet from the fucking anchor room. So we wake up like 4:30 in the morning, just It sounded like a war was like happening. I was like still half drunk from the night before. And my wife says I sit straight up in bed like a zombie, and I go, "What the fuck is happening?" I start screaming at the top of my lungs, and I look at because of the TV, and you could look at the outer cameras of the boat on the TV.
Right.
And I look, and we're like at port, making port in Mexico. I'm like, oh my god! Every morning there on out, where we hit port somewhere, which are like 4 stops, was some sort of waking up to this massive chain thing going on. So I learned at that point, okay, now I know why the front of the ship has some amazing rates on rooms.
No, we actually get the bottom center rooms. They're less expensive, but the way the boat moves, like on its fulcrum, they move the least. So they're...
Yep, and the rooms that are right next to the elevators are usually cheap too, because they're the noisiest rooms to be at.
Yeah,
yep.
So we like to be like just a few in off that. And also it's in the Disney ship anyway. In the bottom center was where Hope's age group like hung out for a while. So it was we were just more comfortable knowing they were like 50 feet away as opposed to like 6 decks away.
Did you think that the Disney cruise was worth it? Because I'm thinking about taking the family.
Yeah. Especially like the Disney cruise is geared towards kids. So like they're just fully designed to babysit your kids for you and to give you guys a break.
Because my daughter turns 6 tomorrow, and she's a 6, and she's a Disney fanatic. Like,
at 6 years old, they literally have like so in the areas that they play, they'll like go from like a little playground to like something else, and they have secret tunnels to take them from one spot to another, so they don't mix in with the strangers, and it helps them keep the group together and stuff. Like
Disney's like hiding kids away, so they're like out of sight, out of mind.
No, it's not about that. It's about making sure it's easy to keep the group together. You never drop a kid.
They're not out mixing in with the other walkways, so they can't get lost or I gotcha.
Plus, it's cool, And actually, all big sections of the secret tunnel have glass sides and stuff, so you can see everyone else, but the group doesn't get split up.
That's cool. I hear they have a kind of a baby program too there. Yeah,
they call it there's a term for it, like I forget, some Disney-eyed term, but yeah, they literally will watch your like 1-day-old for you too.
Wow, that doesn't seem safe.
I made one day up, but it's pretty young. Like you can drop your 1-month-old there. Like a month, I'm sure they take your month-old and handle it.
By the time we go, my youngest will be about 1.5 years.
I can just see Mickey Mouse bottle feeding an infant while you like get drunk in a hot tub.
Mickey Mouse breastfeeding an infant.
Yeah, with lots of teats.
They're designed to handle your 1.5-year-old, and your 6-year-old will be put in here with peer group, and they'll be playing video games and making friends and stuff like that.
Put her next to for all I care. I need a vacation.
Dude, I've talked about it on the show before, but there's a Disney commercial where they literally like advertise how parents have sex. Let me see if I can find it.
Is it showing like, kids, go watch a movie?
Is it like that clip that Kyle sent us?
No, Kyle's clip was a bit more raucous.
No,
I'm so proud that they are the first $500 backer for the Chris Hansen Kickstarter program.
Kyle's clip was educational, is what it was.
Yes.
For 500 more, we could have gotten a producer credit.
Oh, son of a bitch! We missed out.
What if it was #RSK?
Yeah, just a wildly inappropriate.
Might have been worth it.
You guys should ask him something like, "So, how would a predator go about not getting caught?"
Yeah,
very serious, taking notes, pen and paper, the whole deal.
Yeah.
Someone like you out there, really shutting the child predators down. How do you get laid in this day and age? Like, how does a guy like me make it happen out there?
All right, can we watch this commercial together? It's only 30 seconds.
Let's see here. I am queued at 0.
All right. Ready, set, play.
We went on a Disney cruise with Mickey and Goofy. I had my own club and my mom had a mud bath with Daddy.
The ship had a great spa. It's no funny.
And guess what? At the island, Captain Hook was there.
You just get back?
That was a year ago.
That's my baby brother. His name is Joe, but Mom calls him a little souvenir.
Obviously, we all had a great time.
Disney Cruise Line.
All right.
Obviously, we all had a great time.
Loudmouth child.
We went on a Disney cruise.
I hit it twice. But yeah, so and I swear they're like designed to get you laid on the ship. It's like part of their thing. They will watch your kids for you and you can get another souvenir if you want one.
Oh, great. Second thought.
I might not make it.
You gonna fail on us, Kyle? You gonna drop? Poor Kyle, roughing it through.
You can forge ahead. I believe in you. You're professional. A professional Russian.
I wish
all of a sudden I'm listening to AM radio.
Yeah, he's an 8-bit.
No, I think we went down to 4-bit on that one.
So what kind of mic you rocking there? I'm curious.
This is okay. So this was actually a mic sent over for review. It's actually a monoprice mic, and the actual name of it is large diaphragm condenser mic.
They name their stuff like that. Yeah.
But I think this is like OEM or ODM for like one of the MXL mics. I'm not entirely sure. But I've just been too lazy to hook up my actual podcasting, my Sennheiser mic back up, so I've just kind of left it. Plus, it looks kind of cool.
Sounds good.
It's good. But I also have it hooked up to an Alesis multi-mix preamp, so it's got some EQ on it.
A little EQ. I got I'll have to pimp them when I get their name. But I saw Joe Rogan's podcast. He had this really amazing like boom on his mic, and so I wanted to know what it was. I like tweeted out, and then they tweeted me back, and they hooked me up with some equipment, which I'll show off when I do my house tour for people listening. But I have like these. I need special booms because I have these 3 big monitors that has to reach over and come back down, and they totally hook me up. They light up when you're like live talking, and I'm very excited. I'm gonna have a mic upgrade system an upgraded mic system for my new office.
I want to get one of these foam black things because everybody has one but me, and it looks really professional.
I used to have a big old pop filter on this thing, but the screen on here does a really good job at protecting the diaphragm, so it doesn't, I don't really need it.
Yeah, this one, it's a RE20 by Electro Voice. It's supposed to be a nice one. It's the same one Rush Limbaugh uses.
Yeah.
And it's
Electro Voice is really big with radio stations.
It's supposed to be like also like a pop filter kind of built in. Yep. But I was popping anyway, and people like fussed at me, so now I stick it on there.
Well, my mic is the finest that Woody would send me.
I was wondering where that was going. It's a good mic. Like if you see that mic, it dominates live performances. It both sounds good and it's durable. So
is it like a Shure SM58 or something?
That's 57 and 58. I get them mixed up.
It is.
Which one?
It is a 58.
58.
Yeah, I know my shit.
Yeah, 57 and 58 are the same. The difference is like one is like a flat head and the other is like a round head. Internally, they're the same.
Yeah, my buddy who watches or listens to PKA was texting me about mic talk, and I was just so phenomenally uninformed. He's like, well, what's that one you have? I'm like, I don't know. Woody sent it to me. He's like, what's it called? Just tell me, because it looks kind of cool and it sounds real nice. So I had to go get the mic and like check for labels before I knew what to even tell him, but...
I don't know what this is. I have no idea either. I think it's a Shure.
A Shure SM7B.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, I've got one of those. I really
told
like
Woody
it.
how much money I wanted to spend, and Woody picked a microphone out. That's what happened.
Yeah, a microphone, the boom too, and your mix amp. You know, he name a budget, and I just put
good stuff like that. Like when I was using my girlfriend's old ass desktop for the podcast at first, and I needed a computer. I just sent like a price range and with half a cent the options, and I just picked one, and that was the whole extent of my purchasing process. Can you guys even hear me? You guys are all close.
It comes and goes.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah, you're. I think it was like something, like 550 was your limit or something. I'm like, all right, so I got you the best notebook I could find for 550.
It was not bad. Yeah, I was looking for a shop. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this thing works great.
He's like, yeah, this thing it works great. And he's like, there he is.
Sorry.
It started to look like one of those old Razor flip phone videos for a second there.
Jay, I got into an online argument because I like my Mac. I have a MacBook Air. So here's the deal.
Oh, guys, you're already dealing with fanboys.
True. So, but these were PC fanboys. So I've had lots of PCs. Many of them over the years I couldn't even count. I would get a new one every year for work, notebook, and my experience is that after about a year, you get what they call Windows rot, like things have installed themselves. And I'm not like a total noob. Like I'm a professional computer guy. I would uncheck all the extra stupid stuff. You know, even now Oracle's like bundling in Ask Jeeves and shit like that. But I was real careful. But it seems like after a year, especially after 2, there's just something that's gone wrong. It's slower than it used to be. It random. Even now, I've got like some VPN software that wants to launch, and
you start getting a lot of corrupted registry in PC.
Corrupted registry or DLL hell or whatever the heck it is. It just, I think it's the package management. It makes it run bad. Now I also have a Mac, and
it doesn't do that.
It was expensive, like for what it is. It's not a super powerful computer. I can't really make videos on it. But
it's good for like traveling or just kind of doing your browsing thing or even like some gaming depending on what you play.
So I do a lot of sysadmin from Linux, and the Mac has it built right in. It's got all these color schemes for the terminal or whatever, and I'm happy with it. And the battery lasts 10 hours. Even now that it's 2 years old, the battery still lasts 10 hours. If you use it for 5 hours, it charges in 30 minutes. If you use it for 10 hours, it charges in an hour. These things are amazing to me, like that ratio being so good.
Yeah.
And even 2 years later, like I have no desire to upgrade. It's as good as it was the day I got it. It hasn't slowed down. The battery hasn't broken. It's great. And some of the things I like about it, like it has built-in integration, so it's easy to like SMS. And I guess Android has that too. It's called AirDroid. Have you ever heard of AirDroid?
Yeah. So it's a lot like, because iOS on the phone will also integrate iMessage onto Mac OS.
Yeah, and that's amazing to me. Like it just sort of started working, and now I type every opportunity I get. I'm over 40. I'm not really one of those guys that are great with the thumb keyboard thing built into an iPhone, but I've been typing since I was a kid. So if I can, if you guys see me writing like full sentences in my replies, I guarantee you that was from the Mac. And I'm just really happy with it. But I got like extreme hate and karma hits and stuff like that.
But the moment you mention Apple, that's what happens. That's what happens. Like it's the same thing in my world. And if I tell people, hey, I got an iPhone. Like I have an iPhone. I also have the Galaxy. Like I said, I haven't used it yet. But I have my iPhone because I like simplicity on my phone. I live a technical life. I don't do anything hardly on my phone. The wife has MacBooks. She also has a desktop I built her, but she has her MacBook. And it's just the mere mentioning Mac in the PC realm for me. Everyone just kind of like goes off the deep end. It's kind of the same thing if I mention console. The PC, the PC master race folks that follow me, they go off the deep end and, I'm on subbing, blah, 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 stupid shit. There's no winning those arguments.
I had 2 Samsung phones, and people give me a hard time because I get the name wrong, but getting names wrong is my thing. It's like the S3 and S4. What were they?
Yeah, the Galaxy.
Yeah. I had 2 of those, and they were great for vlogs, by the way, because you could switch the camera mid-roll.
And they were high
you could
quality.
do the picture-in-picture. And yeah, it's a good camera, but or it's a good phone. But the challenge was it crashed. The specific symptom I had is when I left the map to go anywhere else, Google Maps would crash. And this is an Android, right? Google stuff should work on an Android. But yeah, so anytime I wanted to like change the song or something, I'd have to re-enter the address I was going to while driving. It was a wreck.
Well, I got news for you. The iOS or iPhone is the same way now. I mean, ever since, like Steve Jobs died, everyone was like, oh, the quality is going to go to shit. And it has been. Like, iOS has crashed on me more since owning this iPhone 6 than any of my other iPhones in the past, period.
Really? Mine's never crashed.
Yeah, this one here will give me like, it's called a springboard crash, where it just all of a sudden the Apple logo appears and you're back to the icon screen, the home screen. Or I'm in Safari and I just get a random crash to desktop. So what that is, that's like bad memory allocation in iOS. And I only know that because this company I worked for, we wrote software for iOS, and so it's just little things like that are creeping into the system. So, or like I'll rotate the phone and everything will or like half the screen will orient landscape and the other half is rendered portrait, and it didn't actually go. So the only way I could get it to work is to restart the phone. Stupid stuff like that.
I've never seen any of that, but I believe you. I wonder what we're doing differently. Maybe I'm doing less.
You're probably doing less, or I'm just going longer with restarts. No, this isn't jailbroken. I used to jailbreak, but I don't even see the point in that anymore. I just don't do anything on my phone because when I'm out, like other than just kind of doing the normal like checking up on the social media stuff, I don't do anything on my phone.
Yeah, I don't do much either. I use the Reddit app. I use the browser.
Kyle's like, fuck it, I'm out.
SMS. Yeah. Kyle's sick.
I'm trying to keep up. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a power user, but it's just where I tether sometimes. That helps. But I don't know. It just works. I still need a PC because I play games and I use it to render my videos because it's powerful. But you know, I don't know. The Apple world is nice too.
Well, my wife and I are shopping for a new laptop for her right now, and we went down to the store and we looked around and we kind of walked away and didn't make a purchase because we're torn right now. Like, do we get her a PC or do we get her a MacBook? Because she has a 2009 MacBook Pro, like a 13-inch. Great. And how many PCs do you know that can run 6 years on a laptop form factor and just keep going strong?
Yeah.
You know, and really, her computer's just starting to become a bit slow for a lot of what she wants to do because the tech has changed so much in 6 years, even for Mac. But damn, the cost though, man, $1,299 starting for a decent 13-inch Pro. It's just so expensive.
I just got my daughter a computer, and I don't know what's expensive because I got her a Yogi or a Yoga 2 years ago. Actually, a year and a half ago. And it's done already. The keyboard stopped working, and to the point where she had to like press super hard. The mouse gave up a long time ago. She had to have an external mouse, and now it's overheating and it won't boot consistently, which is a big deal because she uses it in school. And if it doesn't boot when she needs it in class, then that's an issue.
And that's the way like PCs have always been for me on laptops. Yeah, just the hardware is cheap.
Exactly. So I got her a MacBook Air this time. The one that just came out, and. I hope it lasts for her like it has for me. Like
what grade is she in?
Sophomore.
Oh yeah, so that'll last her through the rest of high school and into college if she goes to college or whatever. But it's that strong of a platform. I don't do fanboys. I don't subscribe to the fanboy ideology. I don't pick a side. I'm a fan of tech. So when people like draw lines in the sand and then they all want to line up and just turn it into fanboy wars, I don't do that. I hate that with a passion.
Yeah. Some guy on Reddit hurt my feelings. I'm just saying.
That guy is an asshole, and I'll say it.
Yeah,
he can unsub you and leave Minecraft and all that shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, screw that guy.
It's very brave.
I was just like, they were saying that the new MacBook, not the MacBook Air, but the new MacBook, you can see it's only like the amount of computer would almost fit into a phone. And people are talking about how awful it is. And I'm
logic board on it it's only like a quarter of the size of the case. The rest is battery.
Yeah. And everyone's talking about how terrible that is on Reddit. And I just chimed in. I'm like, I've got something similar with my MacBook Air. And I kind of just web browse, email, sysadmin. And
that's where it started, right?
Goof off, right? Like I'll watch videos on it too. And they were just like, oh, that's terrible. I could do that on my Chromebook for $150. And it was like, I don't know. In the PC world,
it's going to last 2 years.
I've always had these issues, and they accuse me of spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt and crap like that. And I was like, I'm just happy with the thing I bought, and that's all.
Yeah, you weren't putting down PC. You were just praising what you have and saying it works for you.
Yeah,
that's the thing, though. You get your fanboys. And the fanboy mentality is, you use and like something different than me, therefore you're putting me down. That's how fanboys operate, and I hate that so much. I can't even put into fucking words how I feel when I watch fanboy arguments, and it's just I guess because I don't understand it. It enrages me when I see people take these arguments to just such stupid extremes to where both people look retarded.
But when it's between consoles, I thoroughly enjoy it. Watching console fanboys battle each other is my favorite online war.
Well, imagine from my perspective, you've got Sony and Microsoft fanboys going back and forth at it, and then of course everyone's like, oh well, PC Master Race, we're up here, blah blah blah.
Right.
So I've done some videos in the past where I ran over my Xbox 360 with my truck. Because
truck, by the way,
it's a Durango. It's an SUV.
We'll accept that.
So I ran it over with that. I was turning the tire on it. I did burnouts on it and everything. This was a video I did. Boogie actually, we did a very similar video. We were like, let's start a protest against Microsoft. This was back when they the rumor of like always on DRM and stuff with the Xbox One. So that was kind of our protest of it. So of course all the PC Master Race folks were like, yeah, but they didn't realize it was already a red ringed Xbox that I had laying around. So of course I wasn't wasting perfectly good stuff. They thought I was. They thought I was, crushing a perfectly good Xbox. So later on, I did a video in the living room, and in the background you could see my new Xbox Elite that was back there. And I took so much shit. People were like, "Oh my god, you have a PC, you're a traitor to the PC Master Race," and I thought they were joking. And so many people legitimately, there was fallout for the fact that I own a console. And I'm like, "What is this? What is this shit? I don't understand this."
Those people are silly, and I'll say it right here: silly.
Wow.
Yep. But
Are you sure you want to stick with that word? It's pretty bold. Yeah.
So, you might want to tone that down a spot, Woody. I don't know.
That's some
you want that to hit the airwaves?
Level riskiness.
I thought he was going to say, cotton-headed Nicky Muffins.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of sucks, having a channel that's based purely around a particular genre of a niche. It's so drilled down into this niche, but whatever. I mean, there's several 100,000 people that enjoy it, and I'm okay with that. So I figure there's more out there somewhere. We just got to find them.
I just blew my nose. So much came up. I didn't know there was that much snot inside my head. I'm always impressed. There's always.
It sounds like there's still more.
Oh, I know, right? Like by the time I walked down here, I had recharged. Totally recharged. It's impressive. It's
that we call that efficiency, Kyle.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm using to.
Your body's banging on all cylinders to make that much mucus. So
I really do feel fucking god awful. I really do blame a fan. Chiz is sick as well. I don't know if he's as sick as I am, but I feel like shit, and I definitely blame one of the fans because I was not Purelling my hands after I shook each and every one of your hands. I think I ate a hamburger. I shook 50 strangers' hands and then ate a cheeseburger out back behind a paintball field. That was just stupid.
So I just Googled this to learn. Your body is a mucus-making machine. You typically churn out 1 to 1.5 liters of mucus a day, and it trickles down your throat, and you don't notice it.
And when you're not sick.
a liter a day?
1 to 1.5 liters a day. Most of that trickles down your throat, and you don't notice it. This is according to WebMD.
My daughter, my daughter's getting ready to teeth. I'm sure she's doing that in an hour right now.
So it's not that Kyle's producing more mucus. It's that it changed character, and it gets thicker. And when it has mass, you feel it. And when you feel it, you want to hawk.
Yeah. There's been some character development in your mucus glands recently.
Yes.
And they're becoming salty.
There was actually a plot twist, is what it was.
Yeah. There was a Shyamalan twist. You thought it was going to be easy to swallow. But it's not.
I've also got chest involvement. Where does that play in? I feel like I've got some bronchitis, maybe. Very painful in my chest when I cough. Kind of a headache, cold sweats.
Do you feel pressure in your chest?
No, but lots of nasal pressure, sinus pressure, in my head, my ears.
You feel something here? In your temples almost in the front?
Yeah,
that could be
temples
AIDS.
in there. It's the AIDS again.
Everything on WebMD links to cancer. That's the thing.
I rate the virgin. It sounds like WebMD too.
WebMD cast.
Yeah. Woody, diagnose Kyle. Kyle, keep saying your symptoms. I want Woody to diagnose you with WebMD.
All right, let's do this.
Well, let's say I got feels like a head cold, like sore throat, nasal pressure, sinus pressure. I don't know how to describe this, but it's hard to hear because it feels like the passages in my ears are swollen. Really
Would you
painful
describe
cough.
your throat pain as sore or more of a sharp pain?
Sore, but it's in the upper nasal area of my throat, not down here. It's less like strep throat and more like a nasal thing. It's like
the back of your nose.
Yeah, it's like the back of your nose, that part of your throat.
Like your head cap.
Oh, this isn't good. You have 404 error.
Oh, shit! Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, you'll slowly get worse and worse.
Can I get some tech support?
Kyle, I'm sorry that there is no recovery from 404.
Is the admin awake?
It says here you have network connectivity issues.
Well, maybe I can make an IT appointment tomorrow and get something prescribed. I don't know.
I do have your diagnosis here if you're interested.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You have sinusitis. It's an inflammation swelling of tissues lining the sinuses. Normally they're filled with air, but in your case they become blocked with fluid, germs, bacteria, viruses, and fungi, and they can grow and cause an infection. Yep, you're a fungi.
Fungi.
Conditions that cause this can be a cold, allergenic rhinitis, swelling of the lining of the nose, nasal polyps, or a deviated septum.
Does it say that Diet Dr. Pepper is good for this in mass quantities?
I think I took a wrong turn somewhere because I came up with testicular cancer.
Oh God!
Why not both? Could be both.
The sudden onset of cold-like symptoms such as runny nose, facial pain, etc. If it doesn't go away in 10 days, it will last for 4 weeks.
If it's not away in 10 days, then I'm gonna go cut duct tape man.
If it's not away in 4 weeks, it will take 4 to 8 weeks.
That's just bullshit. You're just making these numbers up. Like,
No,
if it's not gone in 6 days, I'll go to the doctor, and then it'll last like 6
subacute
days.
sinusitis. Chronic sinusitis could last 8 weeks or longer, and
Chronic
recurrent
sinusitis.
sinusitis will be several attacks in a year.
Several attacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. From what you're saying,
not,
Kyle.
No, look, this is. I'm not even fucking with you right now. I had sinusitis once, and it lasted 2 years. I'm not even kidding. 2 years.
Kyle, you're so fucked.
Well, I'm gonna go to the doctor, and I'm gonna get a shot in my ass, and I'll be fine next week.
You're gonna say sayonara to cyanitis.
There you go.
Oh, that was a Woody level.
Love the
turn your bad joke into a dig at me.
we call those dad jokes, right?
Yeah.
Well,
And
Woody's dead.
they're all the rage right now.
I've been told apparently I'm the definition of a dad joke in a lot of my videos. I'm like, good, that's kind of what I'm going for here.
My daughter thinks that she's hip to the dad joke. She makes dad jokes all the time and laughs at them.
When is she gonna come play Civilization?
You calling her out?
Yes, I'm calling her out. Absolutely, I've got her number. There's no way. Like, there was a time when like Chiz advanced past me in his Civ strength, and I had to really go back to the drawing board. I had to learn like not one but 2 new techniques for like my gameplay. I've got it down now. I feel like I'm a true Civ professional. Well over 500 hours of playtime. I think I got it. I can handle her.
I think you can because she hasn't been playing lately, and yeah, I do remember like when we were going for a delegate victory that first time.
Yeah.
She knew all about it, and we didn't. Like Chiz did, no. But you and I didn't. So, and she had 500 hours.
I've learned so much about... That's all Chiz tries to do to you. When you play against Chiz, he tries to get a delegate victory. He tries to get all the other people to pick on you, and it's not fun at all to play against Chiz. But I've put an end to that lately.
How do you combat the delegate victory?
I just get more delegates. I build a couple of great wonders to get more votes. I discover all the civilizations. I think that gives me a vote and like starts the first World Congress or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch. You just got to be proactive. You have to be the one. It's really hard to like beat religion or beat science if you don't just like do it better than them. That seems like instead of trying to beat them. You get all the city-states and other civilizations in the game to vote in a World Congress, and you basically end up voting yourself in as the world leader. It's a lot easier to do when there aren't very many players in the game, and we play a lot of like 3-person free-for-alls and stuff, so it's easier to get all the votes in your favor than it would be if there were like 5 human beings who would never, of course, vote for him as world leader. But since it's just me, him, and a couple of AI opponents, he can usually get them to vote for him. And
my issue with Civ is I rarely have 16 hours in a row with nothing to do. Like you can play COD if you've got 40 minutes. Like if you've got even 15 minutes, you can sort of jump in, play a game or two, and call it good. With Civ, you need to like set aside 14 or 16 hours.
It's not that long. Come on, it's not that long. It's
8 to 16 hours.
8 hours is plenty. 8 hours is plenty.
Most people can't just set aside 8 hours, though. Like you can't just be like, oh, I got nothing from 8 to 4 today.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like it was 8 p.m. and I'm like, well, it's early enough. I'll play with those guys. We finished at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, and we were victorious.
At a cost.
Crushed the enemy.
Yeah, I just... God, that was a long game.
Sometimes we'll break it up into like a couple of sessions. We'll play 4 or 5 hours one night and then save and play 4 or 5 hours the next night. I like it because it's long form and it's, instead of like a COD game, which you really don't have a lot invested in at the end of it, it feels like you're building your own... Everybody's building their own little sandcastle over there, and it takes hours and hours, and at the end, we judge and see who built the better sandcastle, and I like that.
I would rather just set aside 20 minutes and watch CrunchyRoll.
Oh. You'll want to set aside...
Well, I can't argue with that!
Because of how many episodes they have. You could watch Food Wars. Mm-hmm. One of Kyle's favorite shows.
Haven't caught it
there's
yet.
So much. Okay.
Just being honest. I've seen that one, yeah.
Well, I've heard
plan
good
to.
things.
I mean, I've heard good things.
Jay won the Food Wars.
He won the Food Wars.
A grizzled
He definitely
veteran,
did.
and he's a Food War Medal of Honor winner. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, that was great. I did not know that about you. That's amazing. When you said that, I was like, whoa, all right.
I have many awards I never knew about.
What do you new topic, Woody? What do you got loaded for us? What do you got in the memory banks over there?
All right. I've got a bunch of jokes here. All of them.
The would you rather question. The would you rather that you've been saving for PKA.
All right, I'll do this.
Oh yeah, you do.
I'll present it to the group. But the idea behind this question is that we are going to routinely reuse it, kind of like the mermaid question, with guests. And it can even be an icebreaker. And what's cool is I came up with it on my own. So the question is this. I will give you $10,000 per pound. How heavy is your fiance? Right? Hypothetically, single you. How heavy a bride do you pick given $10,000 a pound?
Well, I would just like to call in. I would like to call in the Game of Thrones reference here, when Roose Bolton had to pick a bride and he was paid her weight in silver, and so he of course picked the largest bride available to him.
Yeah, he picked Walder Frey's fattest sow of a granddaughter.
Huge lady, and Walder Frey gave her a lot of shit later. It was pretty funny.
But he liked her.
No, he didn't like her. No,
he stayed loyal to her through the whole thing, and he's been a good wife. And maybe I'm misreading this whole thing. I thought he was kind of.
I hate to get off on this whole tangent, but it's Roose Bolton, the Lord of the Dread Fort, the flayed man.
Yeah, the flayed man. I thought he
picked that big fat daughter of Walder Frey because he got all the silver. Like he kissed her that time in front of his son Ramsay or whatever. But that's it. That's all the kindness he's shown her. I think.
Someone will have to correct one of us. He picked her because he was heavy, but I thought that he grew to love her and became a really good husband, and I still think that. But anyway, so if you get a 100-pound woman, that's worth $1 million. A 200-pound woman. $2 million. 300-pound, $3 million. If you start getting to like a 400, 500-pound woman, you'll be rich for the rest of your life. Your children will be rich.
Oh, this is an interesting.
But
so I'm
$1
gonna
million
go.
really just.
I win. I
know how to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna pick an 800-pound.
God damn it!
And get me $8 million. She'll live maybe through the fucking weekend, maybe.
Jesus Christ!
And then I've got $8 million to then reinvest, or just not even reinvest it. Just live off $8 million the rest of my life. I'll be fine.
I had that. I was right there with you, and you took it. God damn it! That was my.
Well, then we got to put a cap on these fat bitches. What's fat enough that it's not dangerous? So 300. We'll say 300. That's still not good, but they're gonna be around for a while, and they're gonna make you embarrassed in public. So.
I'm going to pick a 180-pound, very muscular, tall woman because I feel like she'll be
$1.8 million worth of hottie.
Yeah, $1.8 million worth of really hot, really strong lady.
Is she 6'8"? 180 pounds.
She's 6'1", 180 pounds.
Ronda Rousey walks around at like 150. Like I don't think it's impossible to believe that
she's built like a shit brick house. She's just like. I can't even tell you how dense that woman is. My God. And she scares the ever-living shit out of me.
That's what I want. I want a woman who can squat like, 600 pounds. I want her deadlifting 400. Like I want a big lady. What you got over there? What are you sharing?
You want your be able to lift my wife.
Yeah, totally. Totally, exactly. Yeah.
Your 800-pound woman has sat on your connection. I'm just saying.
Oh.
There.
Yeah, Kyle's got a neat idea there with a really healthy, big, strong woman, right? Another idea is what if you got someone who was really a master of their weight, right? Like a good, strong woman that maybe walks at like 140, 150, but you could be like, dude, we've totally got to ratchet this up to like 230, and I have full confidence you'll be back where you were. Lose it like baby weight.
Nah, you keep that $500,000. I'll take my big howdy.
I'm gonna go prospecting on Biggest Loser because there at least they can move.
Oh,
and they're losing weight.
You want them to be able to move though? Because if you get,
I don't want to have to lift them.
No, but like an 11. Have you ever seen those like TLC shows where it's like my 1,100-pound existence or something, and you just get one of those bitches. They're on a bed all day. They can't do anything. They're gonna lose weight because they can't move. And you just go out, do your thing. You've got $1.1 billion or however much they paid you. And you just live your life.
Oh, goddamn. That was my, as soon as, I think we came up with it at the exact same time. We were like, a huge woman. That's the answer. She won't last long. Like, yeah, whatever the largest, let's look it up. Who is the largest woman in the world?
Let's see. We're probably knocking on death's door.
I think we should look at a couple different archetypes here, because I bet there's like an 800-pound woman, but I bet there's also like some pictures of some 180-pound like power lifters or something.
There's a woman who made it to 1,036 pounds. Yeah. She's now 756.
Dang, how many knees?
It's not the picture you're looking for, but
all right, here's USA Women's Powerlifting. These are my girls.
She doesn't look that heavy. I can't see enough of her to judge properly.
Half-ton killer.
I wish I had Googled this. I feel a little nauseous.
Ooh. Now I see the rest of her.
Probably not great, right?
Lucky guess.
Does it look like just like 6 hefty bags stuffed with cottage cheese?
From the neck up, she just looks
like normal.
Heavy, but like the heavy you see every day.
Yeah.
And then,
whoa!
Yeah, once you get neck down, that's a lot of woman.
Yeah, some of these big strong girls, I'm telling you, that's the way. It's definitely the way to go.
Link.
A lot of money though.
Yeah, because we are getting $10 million out of this woman.
Oh Jesus, are you really?
10 million.
Yeah, I should look at
a pound.
Yeah, 10,360,000.
It wouldn't even load the link.
No. What am I doing
too
wrong?
Fat.
10 million. I'm doing something wrong. 1,000. Let's do that. Let's pull up the calculator.
You're getting 10,360,000 if she weighs 1,060 or 36 pounds.
But I start to feel like there's I start to feel like as the money grows and as the investment interests prospects better, there becomes a diminishing returns on the money received, and it's not the same linear curve as weight gain is going to be. So I don't feel 10 million is worth that.
To me, like the difference between 1,000 pounds and 800 pounds is pretty slight.
Yeah, but I'm thinking the
That's
difference
true.
between
Once you get to a
400
certain,
and 800.
Yeah, that's definitely true what you're saying, Jay. Like there is a critical mass there. Like if you see a 400 pounder and an 800 pounder, you're going to notice a difference. But past a critical mass, it's just all gross. So it doesn't matter.
Once you hit 700 pounds.
We can go way lower than that. Like for a normal sized human, like you're 600 pounds in a woman on that frame. That's just like it's just amorphous at that point. Just an amorphous figure, not even like feminine. It's just body.
How many different parts of her could you have sex with, right? Like I'm looking at this woman here. See the last link I gave, that Daily Mail one?
Holy shit, that's a link.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 6 places I could have sex with, and I haven't even gone to the primary yet.
She needs a selfie stick. She needs a selfie stick just to wash herself.
She's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Don't say that. No. Why are you trying to convince yourself of that so you can rationalize the 10 million? Because no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
She looks like a bunch of soft serve. That's.
No, first of all, she looks like some sort of a Batman villain that you hit with a heat ray. Second of all, she's not that bad looking. She's kind of cute. Is that a bug on her face, or is it like a teardrop tattoo?
I saw
what am
it
I
in more than one picture. I think it's a
her?
birthmark of some sort.
Cool.
It doesn't look too bad though.
It does.
She doesn't look good. No, she weighs
click on
enough
the other
that
picture.
Like a Ford F-150 wouldn't be big enough to carry her.
Well, I'm looking at the USA Women's Powerlifting team, and I'd rather fuck these bitches.
Right.
Oh, I thought we were still looking at that other one.
I feel disturbed.
I don't know. I'm just picking. I haven't been able to narrow down like a 180-pound powerlifting woman. Maybe that doesn't
payload on an F-150 is 3,300 pounds. She could totally fit in a full-size pickup truck.
In the back.
Almost 3 of her.
Lawyered.
How much of that can you put in the cab, though? That's what matters.
You could cram 2/3 of her left thigh into a cab.
You guys are harsh.
Well, I think I would go. I think I would try to find the biggest, most muscular woman I could and go that way because I would still be attracted to that person. I feel like.
Did you give it? Oh, you did. Is it safe to click on?
Yeah. I don't think there's any nudity anywhere at this. It's just a big Google result thing. Like I just Googled like USA Women Powerlifting Team, and I was like scrolling through.
Yeah, like this girl clearly has a desirable body. I'm not sure she weighs enough though.
Yeah, that was my thing.
No,
if you look in like the top right link, there's this lady wearing a wife beater whose arms are bigger than mine, and she those are man arms. Like
top left.
I take issue with a woman half my size who can deadlift more than I weigh.
Right?
I can overlook it if I'm getting $10,000 a pound.
Kyle, is this what you're looking for? I think
is
I found
safe to click
your
on?
sweetheart.
Is that safe to click on?
Yes.
God. Oh no. I don't think she's a power lifter.
Look at that. It looks like she spotted a McDouble in the distance.
I think she's there to be lifted. I think that's what she's doing there. Oh, that's just cruel. It's terrible.
Oh.
Look at all of that power.
That devolved quickly.
I think I found your sweetheart. Oh, poor Taylor, we're losing your thing there. But
I think he's funnier this way.
Man, I don't know where to go because I 1 million certainly greases the slides in life, but you're not done earning forever. Like you still got more to go.
It doesn't go very far.
Yeah, you'll run out. But you get into 3 million, 6 million, 10 million, you really got a thing going on. So there's the question, do you want to be set for life or do you want to have a...
Yeah, I still stand by my first choice of the 800,000 pounder. They're going to be dead over the weekend. And you then have the rest of your life with all that money.
Theoretically, like if I could like let's say like I don't know, the world record is like 1,000. Like if there's like an 1,100-pound woman, then like I want her to gain weight. I want there to be like a honeymoon period in which like I really pump her up. We go to basketball every day. Whatever.
Fat milk.
Yeah, whatever. But like if I'm getting paid, what is it? $1,000 a pound?
10,000.
10,000.
That makes 100 into a million.
There you go, Kyle. There's your ideal woman right there.
Is that safe to click on?
It should be. I would preview it first.
Yeah,
At least have...
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's a lot better than that 600-pound lady.
I mean, you just gotta imagine that's you. She's holding over her head right there. If you piss her off, though.
Yeah, let's see, 45, 90. That's 180 plus the bar, 225, and I'm guessing those.
I'm not paying for the bar.
Yeah, that's way more than me.
No money for the bar.
That's like 250 pounds, 265, 275, somewhere in there.
Kyle, I don't know what the woman that can deadlift 600 pounds and add that.
That's impressive. I'm seeing some of these women who are clearly squatting like 300-400 pounds. This lady is definitely deadlifting 6 plates on each side, so that's Jesus.
No, she's got 3 plates on each side, 2 big, 1 small.
Yeah, but I'm looking at a different lady who's deadlifting.
Oh,
deadlifting.
Outrageous.
I had a subscriber challenge me to a calf competition at the paintball event. Were you there for that, Kyle?
I was not present. No.
I held up pretty well. They all said that I won, but I had a little bit of bias there. But it would be hard to pick a winner. The guy called me out for calves, and he didn't walk away unscathed. That's for sure.
Well, I missed out on that, but
how will you ever get over it?
I think I'll be all right. I liked hanging out with the fans. That was fun. Like I said, no weirdos this time.
Do you ever get drained a little bit?
Nah.
At Living Legends, I did. At this event, I didn't. But yeah, like sometimes at the end of Living Legends or something, I just like go back to my hotel and sort of hide, recharge my introvert batteries.
It's a shower that I need. Like once I get the shower, I'm like completely good again. It's once I get like gross and grimy and I'm just not comfortable in my own skin, like then I don't want to hang out with people. I don't want to do anything but take a shower. But once I've showered again, I'm 100%.
For me, it's not about the shower. And Joe's the same way. Joe wants to, like, I don't know. We'll head back to the hotel room and, like, surf Reddit for 40 minutes or so until we're sort of ready to face the world again.
That's a damn shame.
It is, isn't it?
I was looking at the picture that they shared.
That's who
It looked like she's melting.
Ooh.
Look at that big bag of money.
Which one? Which bag?
Wow.
The most recent link. Look at there's like 6. There's a lot of bags there.
Yeah, she
How is she even staying on the couch? That's a lot of core strength.
It seems like she should be.
That's
like
the perspective, though.
away.
Who knows what's going on in the back end there?
Where'd your girlfriend do? She ran away.
She did not run
It looks like she is 2/3 of the way through melting.
She's clearly happy, though.
She's oozing down the hall.
She does have this look about her, like, yeah, there's some people are into this.
She's
she's having a stroke.
accomplished.
Someone just said, Taco Bell! And she was like, ah!
I do wonder what she's doing to keep herself on the couch. Like, there's a lot of weight forward of that couch.
Oh, hey, you guys know the video that you played earlier today? Did you guys talk of the ESPN chick that went off on the? Did you guys mention the repercussions that are coming of that already?
A week of suspension.
Yeah,
Right?
she's already been suspended, but you know that's going to escalate.
Maybe. She is pretty and blonde.
She is a pretty woman, so
Yeah,
probably
that's true.
not.
Yeah.
So,
well,
a
Brian
week,
Williams
one
is a
day good
handsome
behavior.
man. He told those Iraq War lies. He said he got shot down in his helicopter. They got him for 6 months.
Yeah.
Which is to say, at last, someone being punished for Iraq War lies.
I mean, nobody
It's a
likes
stolen
the parking.
joke.
Nobody likes the people at the tow yard anyway. That lady probably was a bit of a bitch. She was definitely talking down to her in a way that I think a lot of people won't enjoy listening to. Like, she's making fun of her teeth and her education and stuff like that. But whatever, I didn't care.
But, I mean, you interact with people who are, without sounding like a douche,
Below me?
unavoidable.
Are you talking about my lessers?
I was going to say below your station in life,
There.
like where you are right now, right? There's someone there ringing up your candy bar at the gas station Quickie Mart every day. There's someone there, the waiter or whatever, like who just not rocking life like you are, and no one treats them like that. It's not an everyday reaction to running across someone who you can bully.
No, of course.
There's no defense for how she acted. She was a complete bitch. Like, in no world is that okay.
But why?
That's just bitchy.
It's not okay. But should we really punish it? Should she? Why is she getting punished at work for like some shit she said at the tow yard?
The video was heavily edited too. I would like to hear the provocation. Right? She didn't just come up and start making fun of some woman's teeth or her education or how she needed to lose a few pounds or whatever. The back and forth was completely cut out, and they made it one-sided. She edited
That's what I was going to say. Is we don't know what led up to that. I mean,
and I'm really curious.
She just needs to keep reporting the news on ESPN and looking hot, and she can be racist at the DMV if she wants to. She can be talking about Heil Hitler for all I care. Like, they're two separate things. That's my only thought. I don't care what she says to the tow lady, because every now and then I'm going to want to say some nasty shit to a tow lady, and nobody should be looking down on me for it. It shouldn't affect my job. Like,
in my opinion,
it shouldn't matter.
The thing that hot blondes are able to get away with in terms of crimes and, bad society behavior is sex with teenage boys.
Oh, not recently. Did you see the one where... So it was a mom, and I guess she was like having some kind of a sex party with like her daughter's friends.
Oh,
and,
naked twisters.
Yeah, that was part of it. It was a hot tub, naked twister, alcohol. Best mom ever.
Yeah.
Like, who rats these people out? That's what. Who are the cock blockers in the school system that are shutting down these like 28-year-old women
boys
who are willing to bang you?
It's all the jealous guys who aren't getting fucked by the hot teacher.
Their
boys are they're bragging about it because that's what you do if you're fucking like a hot 29-year-old and you're 15.
I went to school with a guy who was banging. I went to school with a guy. We were like 16. He was 15. We were 15, and he was banging some like 19, 20-year-old like baseball camp like person, and nobody told on him.
Oh, baseball camp person.
So he was gay.
No, it was a girl. It was a girl.
Oh,
Sure it
all
was.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl at the baseball camp. I didn't see her. I didn't lay eyes on her, and we just all knew that it was happening. And nobody was going to tell anybody anything because that's stupid. You got to be a moron to talk about that.
All those notoriously hot softball chicks.
Oh yeah. See, well, they would be good for making money at 10,000 pounds. So there's that.
What was I gonna say? Oh,
She's a counselor.
there was a girl at my high school who I'm like 99% sure was having sex with her teacher, and he was old and kind of gross, but she was over 17, so I guess good to go.
At my school, I don't know of any particular like students and teachers, but there was a student and security guard incident that happened apparently in one of the female restrooms. So I guess it almost seems like more normal, like not normal, but common than it really is made out to be.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
Especially when you start getting into that 17-year-old range.
When I was a kid, we could legitimately believe that our parents were better behaved. Like you know, like I guess maybe I'm being foolish because my parents were in like the 70s. There's plenty of bad behavior by then, right? But I guess my parents' were in the 50s, and 50s, like, people legitimately didn't have premarital sex and stuff like that in the 50s, right?
Well, I don't know, like today maybe, but that certainly existed.
I agree.
Yeah, they definitely did. They just kept it under wraps.
And I bet it wasn't 100%, whereas today it threatens 100%, right? Like, it's almost there.
That's true. I can get behind that.
And then, shucks, it was late 60s when my parents were getting married. They
explains some stuff.
They must have been badly behaved, right? Like,
I
this
still
is the
are.
60s, man. Yeah, right. That God bless them. So, yeah, totally different thing. I've covered this ad nauseum, but yeah, I don't know, it doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Oh, I saw medical marijuana was legalized in Georgia today, but it was it's just like some it's like oil. I think it's like low THC oil. So that's a first step, I suppose.
Maybe that will help with your illness. You should look into it.
Oh God, whatever's wrong with me, I would. Yeah, I'm willing to look at any possible.
I'd need a bunch of pot, and then.
I feel so bad.
It has medical right in the name, medical marijuana. It cures anything. I was talking to my wife about it. Like, for whatever reason, I often find myself pitching pot to Jackie, and like. One of the scenario was like, if I had cancer today, like obviously there are some people who act like marijuana is a cure-all for anything that ails you. And I think it's stupid. Or they act like it's practically a health food. And I don't buy that. But if I had cancer and I, you know, like it helps with nausea and my appetite issues.
And it kills cancer cells.
Is that true?
Yep, U.S. government admitted so. Recently.
Source?
Okay.
Find it, Kyle. But no, that is true.
Yeah, it'll be like National Enquirer. See, Woody? TMZ, right there.
What Tom Cruise discovered in his Scientology meeting.
But yeah, if I was on chemo or something and I needed my appetite restored and my nausea solved, I'd be like, get me a dealer. I don't even know how to get pot right now, but I don't know. I'd be on YouTube asking for sources.
Just send me a DM on Twitter. You know, I'm just looking for some pot. You know, just an adult man. Nothing weird. You end up with Chris Hansen.
All right. So what did Kyle find here? Share the screen. A group of federal researchers commissioned by the government to prove that cannabis has no accepted medical use may have unwittingly let information slip through the cracks, revealing how cannabis actually kills cancer cells. The research was conducted by a team of scientists who found that two of the most common cannabinoids in marijuana, tetrahydrocannabinol and cannabidiol, fucking Facebook ad, weakened the ferocity of cancer cells and made them more susceptible to radiation treatment, said Mike Adams of Herbal Dispatch. Well, if Mike Adams of Herbal Dispatch isn't a reputable source, I don't know what is.
Well, Herbal Dispatch sounds pretty legit.
The study, which was published last year in the medical journal Molecular Cancer Cancer Therapies details the dynamic reductions in which fatal variations of brain cancer with the specific cannabinoids were used in conjunction with radiation therapy. This is a tough one to read. We've shown it cannabinoids could play a role in treating one of the most aggressive cancers in adults. I think this is a boring read, but okay. So according to Mike Adams of Herbal Dispatch, someone who was commissioned by the government said that it does something.
I have several links. Whether you want to go with the Metro or Russia Today, there's lots of links.
Wait, Russian Today was one of your links?
Russia Today is a news source, yeah.
It certainly is.
You don't think that's a trusted one?
It's state sponsored.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And if they're saying it, must be true.
And then they go on to complain about the Schedule 1 status of pod or something like that. Well, shucks. I don't know how I can possibly dispute. Let's see. Let's go to Herbal Dispatch and learn more about them.
Well, here, go to cancer.gov. I got to find a source, apparently.
Okay.
Jesus.
My goddamn mouse stopped working. I can't even look anymore.
This is just like a reprint of Herbal Dispatch, the source you gave us.
I can't help that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say. I just kind of don't. I really should have more proof for my assertions, given that you're providing, the Herbal Dispatch proof on your side.
Here's the Huffington Post.
Huffington Post. Jesus Christ. You really are just like the TMZ article. Just do it. Here, I want
Inquisitor?
The Inquisitor. This is great.
TMZ would never give false information.
Daily
ever.
Mail?
I can't spell marijuana. J-U-A-N-A.
Marijuana.
Well, here's a pretty good article. Here's the daily the UK thing.
Ooh. Oh, the Daily UK. They're
the Daily Mail.
The Daily Mail. I love that it's the Daily Mail. Isn't that like the least reputable tabloid?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Daily Mail is behind Huffington Post in terms of reliability. But whatever. Federal government unwittingly admits that cannabis kills cancer. There you go. But yeah, I would totally smoke pot if I had cancer. Just for the appetite, for the anti-nausea. It seems like a fix. It's what you do.
Oh, for if you're going through the chemo?
What the fuck is Taylor doing?
What? I don't like that.
Wait, that's a penis.
That's totally a penis with a top hat and a cane. That's like Mr. Peanut, but it's Mr. Penis.
I saw his testicle feet.
He's really
Wait,
well.
that was his girlfriend.
That's great. That's great. That's hilarious. She ran. She got the fuck out of there.
She finally made an appearance on the show, and that was it.
That's great. That's really funny.
I thought for sure that was Taylor.
Yeah.
Well, technically, she showed us her penis.
Yeah.
I think that's the title of this PKA. America's girlfriend shows us her penis.
I'm gonna sleep good tonight. I've taken so many different cold remedies. Like Kitty's got this crazy. I don't even know what the ingredients are. Some of them are definitely not legal in the United States. It's like some powder you mix with like hot water, and I used a Keurig and put in like a spoonful of honey, and it really fucks me up. I feel so woozy right now. I
think you talked about that on Painkiller Nearly. Like, yeah. Is it a high? What do you got going on over there?
It feels like it feels like I'm dizzy. Like it feels like my head is like on a. It feels like my head's not attached to my body. It feels like it's on a sled. So if I move this way, my head's gonna keep moving and slide over there, and then I feel really fucked up in not a fun way at all. Just really nauseous, dizzy, and just kind of numb on the inside.
The
That's a day to day.
The general contractor who, like I said, the trust is gone, and I just don't love him, right? At the very end, like I wrote him a check. He signed the waiver of lien, which means he can't put a lien against the house or anything. Like it all ended, and he asked for a hug, and I gave it one. But that fucker's been sick for like a month. I think it might have been his last attack, like his last little.
Hug that guy.
He's like, "What do you put it here? Give me a hug, like as the goodbye or something." And I was like, "Oh,
no, thank you. I don't hug." Taylor, your girlfriend made a bit of an appearance on the show.
I know she's been saying something the past couple weeks about when I go to the bathroom. She wants to come and put a drawing of a dick that she does on the back of the chair, and I have it for you, and it's
she already did. She got it out for us. Oh yeah, she made it into a dance.
It danced back and forth.
So you've seen him. You've seen fancy dick.
Wait, this is fantasy dick, you say?
Fancy.
No, fancy dick.
It's probably both.
Yeah, just judging by the size of it, it's kind of a fantasy dick.
It is a very well dressed penis, though.
It is. It's dressed very well. It's got a cane.
Yeah, I said it's like Mr. Peanut, except it's Mr. Penis.
Will we ever?
I asked her why the nut sacks looked like they were in two separate sacks, and she said because he was strutting around. He's got places to go, people to see.
When's she going to be on the show? Can that ever happen? Is that a thing that you can?
I'll see. I'll run it by her.
It'd be fun to see Marka and the boss sharing a mic, doing the thing. It'd be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We're looking for. Oh, found it. Now I can click on the pot links that we're not talking about anymore.
Why? Oh, did you get your new mouse?
Yeah, my stupid mouse pad stopped working, so I haven't been able to click on anything for the last 40 minutes.
Your mouse pad stopped working?
Like the trackpad on the laptop.
I follow. I'm like, how does a mouse pad break? Like it moves or something?
Yeah, I said it poorly. No, but yeah, maybe I'll run it by her. She does very good drawings of dicks and other things.
Because he was shredding.
Mostly dicks.
Mostly dicks, yes. Yeah, a lot of dicks. The whole bedroom's just scattered. Dick drawings all over the place.
It's like Superbad all over again.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that it's on like a little stick so you can make it dance and stuff.
Yeah, it's on a straw. Very creative. It was good.
I like the whole implication. Like she just seems like she'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is fun.
Yeah.
Lucked out.
Well,
I'll run it by her.
Do you want to call it a wild card?
I think so. I'm going to pass out. I just want to say thank you very much, Jay, for coming on the show. You were a badass guest.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations big time on your weight loss success and truly taking on a whole new lifestyle and becoming a different person.
Yeah,
so not many people do that, and you definitely have. So congrats.
I can't wait till the end of the summer. That's where we're going to hit our goal. So
awesome.
Very exciting.
Keep it up, man.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Well, I tell you where you can find more of that progress. Follow on Twitter if you guys are watching at JayzTwoCents with a Z. I do a lot of like hashtag GoTeamJ up there. I actually got that to trend once. That was kind of funny.
Nice.
Considering I only have about 40-something thousand followers, to get something to trend with that kind of followership was like, wow. But someday I will be as fit as Mr. Fancy Penis over there.
Nice.
Yes.
Taylor, get her to draw one that represents each of us. That would be great.
Oh.
I'll run that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait to see myself in penis form.
Yeah, I want to be in this form. That's great.
Please make sure that my head is like the ridge line on my circumcised penis is perfectly flat.
Yeah. I love this.
Just to work the hairline in there somewhere.
All right. Well, PKA 226. Thank you so much, Jay.
Hey, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Had a good time.
CrunchyRoll. Check them out.
.com/PKA. Make it happen.